Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning, Potato.
Good morning.
How are things in England this morning?
It is hot today.
Oh my God, it's actually
We are
hot.
in the middle of a heat wave.
Damn.
It's actually hot and sunny. It's beautiful outside today.
Mm.
I mean, I'm boiling.
Well, you know what's
It's
funny?
been so cold.
You know what's funny is that I had someone in the UK in chat yesterday, and they came in and they said, "Hello from sunny UK," and I thought they were being sarcastic. And I almost
You're like, you are joking.
I almost made a sarcastic comment back to them, like, yeah, I thought, because it's never sunny there. So enjoy it, Potato. Enjoy it.
It never is. It hasn't been sunny. It's been pretty cold. And then this week, bam, heat. I'm sweating. It's gross.
Well, welcome to my world. I walked outside this morning to take the dogs out, and I could have cut the humidity with a damn knife. It is so humid. Humid, just humid.
Yeah. I
Good
don't like that.
morning, everybody. Good morning. We've got Kendo here listening from work. We've got Lady Justice. She says that she is praying for the Harris family since a body was found near his apartment yesterday.
Oh, it was near his apartment.
Very near. Yes, we're going to go over it. Within a block, I believe. It's really sad.
I mean,
it's like a water waste area, treatment center.
if that is him, it's crazy if he's been there that whole time.
Well, I think they just had a storm come through. Didn't they have like a hurricane, like a tropical storm come through? So I think what the theory is, and we'll get into it, but I think there's like a theory that maybe he went down fell in a manhole, an open manhole, because it was really foggy in the night he disappeared, and that, he sat and that all that water rushed and pushed him. It's disgusting to think about, but pushed whoever it is. I mean, even if it's not Caleb, it's somebody, right? Push that body through the treatment center or whatever, through the pipes and then into that treatment center. So I don't know exactly what happens when it gets to that treatment center. So Randy Harris, I guess, made a statement that they could not confirm identity at this time. So
God,
tough time for them
so
because
sad.
nobody knows, right? Yeah, what a horrible, scary way to go, said Austin. Good morning, September. Good morning, Jess N. and Natalie. Who else do we got in here, Potato? Potato's got controls now, y'all. She is like co-piloting the ship.
I can see everyone in chat. I normally can't see anything, but I can see everything now.
Who else do we got here? We got Natalie Scanyon. Good to see you this morning. Kay Fran, thanks for joining. Autism. Sherry, I think it is. I can't see your whole name. I think, yes, Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. Black Cat Mom, good morning. Stacy, good to see you. Melanator. Franny. Roll a mile. I could roll something. What's up, Angel Sleuth? Well, this morning we're doing something a little different. Hello, Cal and Blair. Blah. We're doing a morning show this morning, and Potato is co-piloting. So she's got the ability to pin your comments and run the show, turn on my video if she feels like showing off my red eye. From my
No, you took that away from me.
lash
I can't do that anymore.
my lash gate. So I do not recommend putting glue from China on your eyes and applying cluster lashes yourself if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Maybe just recommend not putting anything on your eyes when you don't know where it's come from or who sent it.
Right. So this random package shows up at my house from Amazon addressed to me with these lashes. And I was like, well, shit, I might use them, Bad idea. Bad, bad, bad. I woke up at like 4 a.m. My eye was glued shut, literally. My lashes looked like they were all one clump. And I was like, oh, Lord, please don't let my lashes fall out. And they didn't. I told them not to fall out, and they didn't. So we're okay. We just have a red eye, and I could use like a eye patch. Ooh, I just had some thunder rumble here too. Did you hear that?
I didn't.
Glamnetics.
You
Yeah,
got
someone
thunder and we've
recommended
got
those.
sun.
I know, weird. Somebody recommended those. I think it was Tracy yesterday recommended the magnetic ones, which I've never
Seen
tried
those.
those. That seems weird. Do you really want a magnet that close to
I
your
mean,
eyeball?
I'd be scared that I would rip my eyelashes out with magnets on my eyelashes.
Is that even safe to have a magnet that close to your brain? I mean, for real.
I mean, as long as you don't have a magnet in your brain, I'm pretty sure you're fine.
I don't know. It just seems kind
It
of
reminds me of the earrings that were magnetic. We used to have those in the 90s.
the what? Oh, the fake earrings. Yeah.
Earrings, the
Yeah.
magnetic ones, and people would put them
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
their
Yeah. Yeah.
nose
Want to know
and
why?
end up sniffing a magnet.
This is so fucked up if you think about it. Like our generation has come so far that back in the 80s, at least here in America, there were parents who made you wait till you were a teenager to get your ears pierced. And some parents didn't even let you. You had to
Mhm,
wait till you were an adult to get your damn ears pierced.
mhm.
Now we've got girls, teenagers with tongue piercings,
Uh-huh.
which
Oh
by the
my
way are
god, my daughter
sexual,
asked me
right?
if she could
Aren't
get hers,
the
and I was like,
what? I'd be
nope.
like, no.
Absolutely not."
Right. It's crazy
I
how
said to her,
far we've
"Really?
come.
Like,
Ooh. Mm-mm.
I can't do tongue
Put a
piercing."
1 in chat if you'd let your
Mm.
teenager get a tongue piercing or any other kind of facial piercing. Put a 2 if you wouldn't. What about belly button? I know they don't do that anymore, but if your daughter said, "Hey, mom, I want a belly button ring," would you let her do it?
My daughter does have a belly ring.
Oh, she does.
She's 17 though.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel
I
like
mean,
the
what
belly ring's a little
age is
different.
okay?
I just feel like that's a little different than a tongue piercing. Maybe that's hypocritical of me.
Mhm.
I
I
don't
think
see
it
any
is as well.
one. Austin put 3 2. Not a flippin'
Both my
chance.
daughters do have their nose pierced.
Yeah, that's different as well in my book. But back then, I mean, we were like, there were some parents out there that were, and those were probably more like the belt parents, you know, like the Proudfoot power
Mhm.
socks. Yeah. Old school, old school. But yeah, I mean, the magnetic earrings. That's so funny. In the
Like,
era of crop
Angel
tops, I'm
says, "Why would you
surprised.
want"
Go ahead. Sorry.
she says, "Why would you want a hole in your tongue?" That's what I said to my daughter. I was like, "What about food and stuff? Does it get inside the
Ugh.
hole?" It's like, imagine getting food stuck in that hole. She was like, "Ugh, no, actually,
And the
you're not."
worst is when they flick them, when they make that clicking noise on their teeth with them. Mm-mm.
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 Yeah, no.
Well, thank you for joining everybody. Hey, Kels. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So our first story of the day, we like to point out creepers here, don't we, Potato? We like to point out
Mhm.
creepers.
It
And
needs to be
when
pointed out.
yep, it needs to be pointed out. And this was a really interesting story. I have no idea. Good morning, guidance. I have no idea who this guy is, Bill Belichick, because I don't follow sports at all. But Bill Belichick is 72 years old, and y'all who watch football probably know who he is. He's the ex-Patriots coach, and he is dating. He's Natalie says Patriots suck. See, some of you guys know who he is. He's dating 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, who was formerly a cheerleader. He's 72, she's 24. This is her. Okay. There they are on a cruise. Now, Potato. My question is, do the rules somehow change when it comes to, people being famous? Like, oh, she's a cheerleader, so it's just natural that she would gravitate towards a coach that's 50 years older than her?
No.
I mean,
I
what
mean,
the
to me,
fuck?
like, I think what do they have in common with each other?
Mm-hmm.
72 and 24? Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's disturbing, right? Here she is again. Okay, so one of her former cheerleading teammates said that their love story began when they met on a flight from Boston to Florida in 2021 while he was still dating someone else. The two bonded over a
Wow.
philosophy project that she had been working on and exchanged contact information. He was
Okay.
seen in March at the at National Harbor, Maryland, watching her at a cheerleading competition. She also attended Tom Brady's Patriots Hall of Fame induction alongside him earlier in the week. This is his old creepy ass. Blech. Now, your daughters do gymnastics. It's no secret, right? Now, what if they went
Mhm.
on to do something competitive and ended up in a major, sports arena? Imagine this
Mhm.
was your 24-year-old, 23-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
It's
no. I mean, I th mm-mm. I don't even wanna imagine that kind of stuff. Like, it's people it's the same again, people in positions of power.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna talk about how we've come so far. And I am actually really happy to report that there are people in the sports world, and I don't know who these dudes are, but calling him out on the carpet for being a nasty ass. So this is Mark Shellerith. I probably sound really stupid to people that don't know um sports, but it says Mark Shellerith is disgusted by pig Bill Belichick dating 23-year-old Jordan Hudson. Now we're gonna so he is a former NFL offensive lineman turned Fox Sports analyst. He didn't sugarcoat his reaction to the 72-year-old Belichick's romance with the former cheerleader. I think he's a pig, Shellerith said during a recent installment of his and Mike Evans' 104.3 The Fan sports show in Denver. So they said he looks like an absolute clown. Let's listen to this
Hey,
clip.
Bill, what are we doing tonight? What are we going to do?
Thought we could eat some dinner. Maybe watch some Mahomes cut-ups. Go to bed.
Wait. So this is wait, hold
Bill,
on.
you gonna...
This this is they're role playing what a conversation between Bill and his new girlfriend would be like. Okay. I didn't read that at first. So they're role
No, I
playing.
was wondering what was going on. Like, what are they doing?
Stink and Mike role play what a conversation between Bill and his cheerleader girlfriend would be like. Oh hell. I'm not gonna play now. Are you kidding me? Let me refresh.
Hey, Bill, what are we doing tonight? What are we going to do?
Thought we could eat some dinner. Maybe watch some Mahomes cut-ups. Go to bed.
Bill, you going to need to take your little pill tonight?
No, watch Mahomes cut-ups.
Oh my god.
Mahomes cut-ups. Good to go, right?
Mahomes cut-ups. Don't need the blue pill.
You're right. It is gross. 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 There's like a 50-year difference between them. Gross.
Dude, if you're like,
Just
if
gross.
your daughter's about, she's in her 20s.
She's 21. Gross.
Dude, if a 72
Oh, my
year old
God.
man,
Nope.
I'd punch him.
you
Be
would
like,
have
what are you
to-
doing? What are you doing?
Mhm.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
So I'm really happy to see other men calling this out because we didn't always have that, did we?
No, I mean a lot of this stuff does get swept under the carpet.
Yep. But I just think it's
I agree
great.
with him. Like I think I would feel like she'd been groomed or something because it's
Mhm.
such a huge age difference.
Well, she met him in 2021, and here it is 2024, and they're coming out publicly.
So how old is she? 24, 23?
23, he's 72. And Stacy, you're
So
right.
she was 20.
20. And he was what, 67,
Yeah.
68?
Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. His girlfriends just stay the same age and he gets
Oh,
older and older.
it's disgusting. It's absolutely
So
disgusting.
gross. Isn't he with like a 19-year-old or something now?
Yes. She's a teen. Yes.
Yeah,
And nobody
that's just
says shit.
sick.
Nobody says anything about that. Like, they post his pictures in the water with this 19-year-old with his old ass, and no one says shit. The tabloids just post it. Oh, Leo and his 19-year-old girlfriend. It's crazy.
I mean, my daughter's turning 18 this year, and I can't imagine her being with a fully grown adult like the same age.
No.
I mean, how old is he? He's in his 40s, right?
Who? Leo?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I think he's got to be at least early 40s. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just gross.
And you got to wonder what had been going on in these years. I don't know. And then, you do have girls that do look for sugar daddies willingly and consciously. But it's just,
Oh my God, he's 49.
he's
He's 49
49.
years old.
Oh, I didn't know he was that old. Oh, wow.
She's 19.
Let's look up him. Leonardo DiCaprio. I can't remember who his girlfriend is, but I did see a picture of them recently. Vittoria Soretti is his girlfriend. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is the one I saw right here where he's got his hand on her ass.
My God, she looks so young.
Mm-hmm. She looks like a child, to be honest. Look at him with his dad body. He ought to be ashamed. 50 years old. But you know what I think happens with these mofos? And I hate to say it, but I think Hollywood and the abuse and the weirdness that goes on in there, that they are stunted. When they start out young as actors, it's kind of like when you see, normal everyday people, if they, acquire an addiction as a teen, or, they have like something really traumatic happen to them, that it may stunt them at that age. Like, I knew a guy who was an alcoholic. He started drinking heavily at 16, and it seemed like he never matured mentally past that age. And it's almost like it's the same. Look at his hair. He still thinks he's 20. He still thinks he's on the edge of the Titanic. He's still Rose.
He does.
Rose. I mean,
That's what I mean. He gets older, but his partners stay the same age. And yeah, it does become normal, doesn't it? Like what you're surrounded with for a long time becomes your normal everyday situation. So
yeah.
other people don't see it as being anything wrong.
Look at this. She's an Argentine model. So she's from Argentina. Did he pluck her from Argentina? Like, how do they find these girls? There's something deeper
She's
to
a model.
this. I feel like
Hollywood.
there's I feel like there's something deeper than this, though. Like when she's in Argentina, they hook up with agents, and there's shit. I think there's just like nasty deals that go on here. I don't trust it. It just
Well, we know
doesn't.
it happens from
Doesn't feel
what
right.
happened with Epstein.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
Brilliant
right.
people
It's almost
like
like a side thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's really
Yeah,
downright
like
disturbing.
trafficking.
Miss Vu says, I can't stand him. I can't either. The shit makes me sick. And I mean, look at their faces here. Look how aged he is.
Look at him.
Oh, he's just not that young man anymore. And it's like,
He's clinging on for dear life, though,
he is.
to
Yep.
that young Leo in the Titanic.
He is. Rose. Look at this one. Look at this. I mean, talk about looking like a clown. Blair, a lot of people are. She said, I'm done with Hollyweird. You know, I feel like the whole essence has really fizzled with Hollywood and how people
been
portray it.
exposed.
No one wants to be famous anymore. I mean, it's not, I mean, it's so funny because I was talking to my son who does music, you know, Ryan, and we had a long discussion the other day in which he's going to come on and explain to us all this gaming stuff. I asked him tons of questions. I told him all about
Oh, that'd be
Sebastian.
awesome.
He has so much insight into the Switch, the PlayStation, because he's been a gamer since he was little. And we discussed like how it's changed. I didn't monitor him. He was born in 1998. I didn't monitor it because we didn't know, you know, but he honestly told me he's never come across a creeper. He's never seen anyone get creeped upon. And I felt good hearing that. But he did explain why, because there's different games, there's different ways to play the games, and there's different settings for each game and how you interact. So he's gonna come on live and explain a lot of it to us. And I think it'll be really an awareness too for parents because he knows all the ins and outs, you know, because he told me this is interesting. PlayStation 5. He said, so for example, if Seth went to work and logged out of his PlayStation so Sebastian couldn't play on his account, Sebastian, all he would have to do is go to the main screen or something and log in, and he can log into his own profile on another console, play and log back out, and no one would ever know he did it. And I was stunned to hear that.
And that's probably what he was doing.
So, I mean, even if someone isn't aware, you know,
if you didn't have internet access, then they don't really know that, do they? So, and I think a lot of people don't know that. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I've got teens, like they've done gaming and stuff. I wouldn't know if I put parental controls and stuff on or whatever. I wouldn't know that they could bypass that kind of stuff, but they can.
They can do a lot. And we did find out, I don't know if you saw this, Potato, but I should probably show you because a lot happens when you go to Nights. Did you see that Sebastian had his own Gmail?
I did.
Okay, you did see that.
Because I said like that YouTube account, if he had his own Google.
I'm going to play this clip for anybody who didn't see it real fast.
How good is he at video games? Like the games that he loves? Is he just phenomenal?
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. I've literally tried to get him to take this phone that I'm using talking to you right now. And I was like, I told him, I was like, son, I'll wipe it. I'll do a reset. We'll take your Gmail account that you have and we'll hook it up here. And we'll let you have your own Call of Duty mobile account.
How good is he at video?
So he basically admitted here that he was also going to clear a spare phone and give it to Sebastian.
Yep. I mean, the whole story is changing now.
Yep.
Like he wanted him to be online, to have access online.
He wanted him on Call of Duty mobile.
Mm-hmm. So he was. I mean, he was definitely online at home, wasn't he? If he was left all night as well.
Uh-huh. And I totally got off track with the gaming talk, but what were we talking about? Oh, I was telling you about Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember now. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to find out all about the ins and outs of gaming. So, and it's interesting because my son's been on the gaming platforms since, probably early 2000s. So he's seen a lot and he's really smart. So he's got a really good way of explaining stuff. So we definitely go and do that. Robin thinks that Seth just didn't want to admit that he didn't spend much time with his son. I think that came out too, because every time he was asked, like, what is Sebastian like? It's always the first thing is video games, video games, video games.
Yep. Well, he doesn't really know anything about Sebastian. If he doesn't even know details about his schooling and stuff, doesn't know what year he is in, that he didn't know a lot, did he? I think he says things that he thinks make him sound like he was an involved parent. But when it comes down to it and those questions are asked, he doesn't have an answer.
He doesn't.
It's like buzzwords for him.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I was, this case, and I hate to say it, but I'm one of those that sometimes I wake up and I think about it, and I have another theory. With this phone business, let's say he did get him a phone. Maybe not for Call of Duty Mobile, but maybe to communicate. Something happens, son. Here, But I've been thinking about that thud at 10 o'clock. I got a thunderstorm. Can you hear it?
I can hear it now.
Yeah, it's raining pretty good. But what if the thud was actually someone coming to Sebastian's window and saying, meet me outside. Get your flashlight, meet me outside. And those are the two lights you see walking away. Like, oh, you don't need anything. Just meet me outside. And then they walk over across the yard to the vehicle.
I think that's very possible. I think with everything that's been coming out about his home situation in both places, it's very possible that he could have met someone online. And then they come to meet him or whatever, or I don't know, whoever planned to get him out of that house.
But what if but his dad even said, though, he wouldn't get in a car unless it was someone he knew.
Yeah, I think definitely. It must have been someone he knew, because why would he leave in the middle of the night anyway? I don't believe that he would just leave, because it was so dark out there as well, that he would just leave in the dark. I mean, he had plenty of opportunities to leave at any other time. Like when he's at his dad's house, he could have left when his dad's at work.
No, I think it was more or less, I feel like because he didn't put shoes on, and we don't know that for sure either. He very well could have put shoes on, but he didn't take anything with him. His Switch, his phone, anything, his backpack. He didn't take any of that stuff. So it's almost like he thought maybe he was just going outside for a minute.
I mean, he could have been lured out by anything. Someone comes and says, oh, I've got some kittens. You love cats. Want to come see my kittens?
I don't know. I just feel like it was something he was just running outside for and never came back in. But it is weird that he says he's somewhere playing video games, but I feel like that might just be something to make him get through the days. I mean, you almost have to tell yourself something if you think about it. Like, I don't know how I would get through the days if my child, I didn't know where they were. I would probably come up with some kind of positive scenario in my mind. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. What do you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the best case scenario, isn't it? That he's somewhere playing games. You don't want to think about the worst thing that could have possibly happened. So I think it does help him.
It could be that. It doesn't have to be something sinister. But, I did talk to Ryan about, certain kids, and he said that there are a lot of lonely kids on the gaming platforms. And we talked about like the difference between him and, some kids that maybe don't have friends. So he said, when I went on there, I wasn't really looking for friends. So like I'd play the game and whatever. I wasn't really interested in, I'd say, oh, I'm from, Michigan, or I'm from wherever. But he said there are kids on there that do get more personal because they don't have real life friends. So that can make them, gravitate, because kids want to be social. I mean, and through COVID, it got bad.
Definitely.
It got really bad.
And it's easier to make friends online as well than it is in person. So if you've got that easier route to making connections with people, then you're going to do that.
James, welcome back, James. James was here yesterday. Great show. What do you guys think about him running away on the exact date Katie filed for divorce? Odd. Yes. What do you think of that, Potato?
Yeah, it is. It is weird that it's the same.
Well, let's talk about it. What do you think? Okay, if Katie did it, what would be her motive for doing it on that day if it was done deliberately on that day? People say Katie's
for that day. I mean,
yeah,
why?
like, why would Katie?
I mean, I can see if it was Seth, because like it's revenge.
Mm-hmm.
But Katie, I don't see it. She would have a reason.
But people say they wanted. Okay, so I've heard this discussed, and that's why I asked, because I went exactly where you did. Katie doesn't have a motive to do it on that date, unless she wanted to set him up. And that would take planning, right? She'd have to think, oh, I'll do it on this date because then he looks like a scorned man. That would take, I mean, I don't even know who would think of that. But, I mean, that's like way out there.
She would have to be a criminal mastermind to pull that one off.
Yeah, I just don't think Katie's sitting around trying to come up with ways to F you Seth. She's moved on.
Yeah, exactly. She's in a relationship. She's married. She's got a nice home.
Thank you for becoming a member, Miss Vu. So I don't feel like she had a motive to do that. I don't think she's sitting around going, oh, how can I get back at Seth? Clearly, she didn't even want to talk to him because the communication went through Chris.
Exactly.
So the fact that it's that date, if Katie did something, then it's coincidence. I don't think she planned it for that date. However, Seth pretended that he didn't know what date. He said he'd have to look at the documents when he was asked on a live stream. I don't know what date she filed, because he was asked point blank, was this the same day that she filed for divorce? And he said, I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look. But he also called that day the day that she's ruined his life twice, in his opinion. He said she ruined my life the day she filed for divorce, and she ruined my life the day my son went missing. And I thought, oh, fuck.
Yep.
So in turn, did he ruin hers? In turn, did he ruin hers? I don't know. It's weird. Aw, Dispatch, that's so sweet. She said I could listen to you guys talk all the time. Potato is such a soothing voice and accent.
Thank you, Crystal.
Well, good morning there, Cricket. Yeah, it's this. He's very bitter, and he even cried on Coffin Daffer when he talked about their wedding day. You tell me he doesn't remember the day she filed for divorce.
I think he does remember. If it was such an impactful moment in his life, he remembers.
Jacqueline says that Katie seems happier. I don't know if we can really say that. Do you think that, we don't know what she was like before. We don't know what she was like with Sebastian.
No.
We don't know if she was.
We don't know these people.
She's
She's not really talking either.
Nothing. Nothing. So then
Not
that
anymore.
brings me to this, okay? So she's the only one not talking. Seth's talking like a motherfucker. Chris was talking like a motherfucker. He's not anymore. She's sitting back. Now, could Katie be sitting back going, checkmate on both you motherfuckers who were working behind my back to take my kid away from me? What would be the point? What would be why? Unless the whole
Exactly.
thing was Chris said, I can't have faith here with him. I can't have faith here with him. And there was trouble
I mean,
over
he
Christmas.
was going to stay with Seth, but he was going to live with Seth. So what would be her reason to cause this whole situation when Sebastian was going to be moving out anyway? So they could have faith there.
But she didn't agree. He was working on her. Remember, Seth said Chris was working on Katie, but she wasn't having it. So it didn't sound to me like Katie had agreed. So I'm not fully.
But then if she wanted him to stay, why would she
get rid of
him?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense
And
unless
I don't believe he's gone somewhere else. Like, people think that he's gone to some other place and they're not allowed to give out that information because whatever. I don't think that is what's happened here.
The only motive I can think she would have would be that Chris threatened to leave her. But like you said, why wouldn't she just agree to let him go to Seth then? That's where I get stumped with that one.
With Seth and she'd still be able to see him.
Unless there was something in the CPS about Seth and the abuse that was preventing that move. And then that wasn't an option anymore. You know, like maybe that was a plan until CPS came forward in February to the house. And there was maybe more to what was going on in both homes. And maybe it wasn't an option then to have Sebastian go there. And then they had that court date coming up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there was something that halted that plan. And maybe it was something in that CPS. Because that seems like the only reason why. But then again, on that interview we watched, it sounded like it was a punishment to go to Seth's. On the lab.
He said
he didn't want to go there. He said, I gave him another year to get his attitude or get his behavior in order. Like almost like he was.
Yeah, see, that's what makes me kind of sway towards Sebastian left of his own accord, because this has clearly been going on for a long time. I mean, a whole year ago, he was going to be moving to Seth, but he didn't so that he could sort out his behavior. And now this, like, it got to a point where he had to go and he didn't want to. And now he's disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine feeling like your parent didn't want you living with them anymore? It's awful for a 15-year-old.
No, I agree with you. And then it brings me back to where they want us to feel like he was a 10-year-old and he wouldn't, think to run away. Now he's 15. He would think to run away, but he may not plan and pack. He may be more spontaneous. He may hear something and just act on it. Impulsive. I mean, what do you think of that?
A child in that situation is really vulnerable as well for people to groom and to lure away.
Yeah. Austin said it's very possible.
Also run away as well.
Sure. I mean, we just had a 10-year-old unalive himself. I mean, I have no words. Austin says during that 3-hour. Oh, go ahead.
I think I've got a delay.
No, it's okay.
I keep interrupting. I don't mean to.
No, you're okay.
I was going to say he's got no friends either. Like Chris said, oh, he thinks he has friends, but he doesn't actually have friends. If Sebastian's hearing that at home and also feeling like he doesn't belong at home, that's going to mess with him. Like, and he could try to find friendships online. And then someone says, oh, like, you can come and stay with us. Like, we'll look after you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go, isn't he? I mean, it seems like that's a
Yeah.
positive thing to go towards. And maybe he doesn't have the common sense and awareness because he's not been surrounded by people and he's kind of being sheltered by not being allowed on the internet and stuff like that. So
Well, that's exactly what
not
Seth
being
said.
aware of those dangers.
That's
not
exactly
being
what he
aware
said.
of dangers, then
He said they're not
Most
letting him watch the regular news. So he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Good morning, Tommy. I just don't think he was lured away by a stranger. I just don't.
But stranger in what sense, though? Someone that he's been talking to for a while online, or
Well, I
random?
guess that's true. I guess
Because
that's true.
I mean, it's like parasocial relationships, isn't it? Like you think that you really know someone and you've got this connection and they really care
True.
about you. But, I mean, it's what happens a lot. Happens a lot. There was one here years ago. He went missing, and he'd booked a one-way train ticket. Never seen again. He was also 15.
Never found him. I mean, to this day.
Never found. He was on. He got a train to London, and the ticket sales, they were like, well, if you get a return ticket, it's cheaper. Like you might as well get a return. He said, no, I want one way. So he got one way
He
ticket.
paid
Went
more.
into London, seen on CCTV. Well, it would be more if you got two like singles.
Oh, got you. Okay.
So he was caught on CCTV in London, and then nothing. He just disappeared. And they still have no idea what happened to him.
I know a lot of people are stuck on the scent thing, but we've talked about this with Soto. Dogs aren't always.
Yeah, exactly. They're not. I mean, they're used as a tool. They're not 100%. Otherwise, so many more people would be found. It's like there was a TV presenter went on holiday and was trying to walk back from the beach to his apartment. Had no phone or anything on him. Didn't have any water. Thought he knew where he was going and took a wrong turn. And they know that he took a wrong turn because he'd been seen on cameras like all the way along until he disappeared. So they had a starting point with the dogs to try and track him. They didn't find him. He was found
Nuts.
just by accident.
It's not.
So, I mean,
Sometimes the dogs lead right to the child. Like in Florida, we had that little boy, that little toddler took off into the woods and the dog like took the cops right to where he was. You know, it just
Yeah.
depends. It depends on the conditions, I guess, and if there is actually a scent.
Yep.
But it's crazy because we know Madeline was strapped in and they said clearly deceased with her mouth open.
Yep.
And the fact that they didn't
Exactly.
pick up on death in that car is crazy.
It's the same with Chris Watts, though. They didn't pick up on his truck either, but we know that he took them to the oil field for how long was it? 45 minutes in that car.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't pick up on anything. I don't understand how.
I don't either. Stacy said we had an online predator contacting my niece, even sent her flowers. She thought it was a teen girl. We caught it. Be careful of fake online personas targeting children.
Yeah, I mean, especially now because we know about AI and stuff, voice changes and everything. It's so convincing. I was watching a video, in fact, it was today, earlier, where they did AI voice stuff. And you couldn't tell the difference between what was real and what wasn't.
Scary.
So, like, these kids could be talking to people on the phone and thinking that they are teenage girls, like teenage girls talking to teenage girls, but they're actually not. It's terrifying.
It is. And I think of Keegan Kline every time we talk about stuff like this. I think about Anthony Schatz
Yeah.
and how he was luring these girls in and then handing the account or the information or, making meetings and handing it over to predators is what I think he was doing.
Oh, I absolutely think that's what he was doing.
Or even in a gaming community where they use voices, Robin. And that was another thing Ryan told me, that on the Switch, there's no way to you don't voice chat on that. There's no talking on the Switch, which makes it a little more safe for kids. And you have a username, he said, and when you go to the profile, it doesn't have any identifying information. So they have to go through more loops to get to the kids to talk to them on the Switch is what I understand. But on the PlayStation, it's wide ass open.
Yep. It is.
Look at Austin. He just saw a case last night where a young guy got catfished, went to go meet someone at night and was tricked and killed.
Oh, jeez.
Serial
Yeah,
killers
so
have probably, they're in a whole new dimension with technology. If you think about it, look at Rex Uerman.
Yep, exactly.
It's scary as hell. Does he have virtual reality? No, but Potato's daughter does. I don't know anything about virtual, Barbie. She said lots chatting on there.
Yeah, there is. I mean, she played a game that it was like loads of people. It's like a big game thing. Loads of people. You can talk to absolutely anyone. She doesn't play it anymore. She didn't like it.
Oh,
But yeah.
really? She was so into it. I remember at Christmas
know
time,
she
it was all
was.
VR. Oh my God, she doesn't do it anymore. See, I love that. I love when kids grow out of
It didn't
this
last
stuff.
very long.
hmm
Yeah, she's not into all that kind of stuff.
It's
But
scary.
yeah, I mean, you could have literally anyone talking to them. And she said it was weird because like people would follow you around because it's avatars. People would follow you around in their avatars and stuff, not leave you alone. Like it's just
Really?
weird.
They can follow you.
Yes. And there's yep.
Can
and
you
there's
put your
young
hand
kids on there
out
as
and
well.
push them away? Like go?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a virtual rape on there? Wasn't there a
Well,
virtual
I mean, I
essay
think that
assault?
was yeah, there was. Yep. I can remember that report. Yeah, I mean it happens on like Minecraft and stuff as well because they're also little
Roblox.
little character.
So get this. My son said that he knows a kid that he went to high school with that is still on Roblox. And I said, he said, Mom, that is a red flag to me. I said, honey, that is a red flag to me too. 25 years old and he's on Roblox. Weird.
Yeah, no.
He said, no, there's just some games I don't play anymore.
As well, but no, exactly with mine. I mean, they grow out of them. None of mine play Roblox anymore. They would think it was weird if they did.
Yeah, my son was like, that's weird. Like, that is a red flag to me. Like, that kid doesn't seem right. And I'm like, you're spot on. I don't think that's right either. But yeah, so we're going to do that gaming live. It sounds like he can provide a lot of knowledge to parents here too. Because technology has passed us by. Akira has a question. She says, what if KP didn't agree to letting Sebastian go to Seth and CP arranged to have Sebastian taken with Bowersock's involvement? That's so, it's plausible with what we heard about Nina.
Yeah.
Definitely a plausible theory.
Is just
I don't
shocking.
trust it. It is. It's weird. It's weird. And then we have the trip to Alaska. I know a lot of people haven't forgotten about that. And I know Proudfoot said it was for work and Mom went with him and it wasn't an impromptu trip, but it's odd. But, you have to figure that they probably questioned the Bowersocks. Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, I would hope if it was that kind of situation that they would have broken it by now. Like people break. I would hope that they'd be able to break them.
It's 4 months. I mean, even if he got lured away to someone he met online, 4 months is a long time. But like you said, there's kids that just disappear.
Yeah. Yep.
Weird.
Yep. For years.
It's So weird. All right, so let's move on to the human remains found in Corpus Christi. It was found in a wastewater lift station. And here is
I don't smoke in front of the family.
I always get this
I hide it
commercial.
because I'm
I don't smoke in front of the family. There's no evidence to say it's Caleb. It's just that it was near his home where he went missing from.
Not far from where a New Braunfels man went missing in Corpus Christi. Now, Corpus Christi police confirming tonight that the remains were found in a water lift station. The collection point is 40 feet deep and had to be drained to recover the remains. Now, to be clear, there's been no confirmation that the remains belong to 21-year-old Caleb Harris, who you see here, who mysteriously disappeared from his apartment in March. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story and bring you any updates as we learn them here on air.
That is so scary. So 40, did he say 40 feet deep? Let's listen to that again.
He did. Yeah.
Reminds me of
Yep, 40
Bella and
feet.
Celeste, and it makes me sick. Listen again.
Just into our newsroom tonight, human remains have been found not far from where a New Braunfels man went missing in Corpus Christi. Now, Corpus Christi police confirming tonight that the remains were found in a water lift station. The collection point is 40 feet deep and had to be drained to recover the remains.
Oh my God. So when I was watching it live through JLR, he was playing someone on Facebook last night who was live on scene. And the guy, I'm echoing. The guy, what was I saying? The guy, oh my God, I can't remember.
Someone on scene. It was JLR. Someone was on scene. He was
He
watching
was
it
on
Facebook.
scene. Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. But the wastewater lift, he was saying that like this wastewater lift station where, okay, so like the water goes from like the manholes, it's like, you know, runoff water or whatever. I think it goes, there's like equipment that may have, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. But they did bring that's what I was going to say. He was live and they brought the fire department in because they had to figure out, and this is what I read in a article, quote unquote, they had to figure out how to get the remains out. So it was something that didn't happen quickly. I know the ME was there when that guy was live, and then the ME van took off, but that was beef. And I read afterwards, they were still trying to figure out. So they were on scene for a long time. Could he have fallen in there? He surely could have, because they said it was foggy that night. And if there was an open manhole, which I don't know why there would be an open manhole. I don't understand it, but
Why
no.
was he out in the middle of the night? Because I don't know anything about this. Like, why did he go missing? All I know is that he had no shoes on, like Sebastian.
Okay, so that video that you saw here of him and his roommates, right here, that is the last sighting of Caleb right here, with the dog. So his roommate had gotten this little white dog, and they took it out, went back inside from here, and then Caleb, the next thing we know is he Snapchatted his sister a picture of a bridge, and I believe it's the bridge where they think that this manhole was near. But he ordered food for the next day. DoorDash delivered his food. And in the morning, his roommate got up and his food was still sitting outside and he wasn't there. So I don't know if they were drunk.
Where's the bridge? Is it near, like, is it really
It's just
close
right
to his
down the
apartment?
road from his house. But he snapped his sister in the middle of the night, this bridge. And that was the last
Just
he
the
was.
bridge.
So I don't know if he
And
fell.
was he taken?
We don't know.
That's
His phone
weird.
wasn't found. His phone wasn't found. Where does the water from that bridge lead to? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know where he lived even. Let's see.
That's so weird.
Let's look up the timeline on this.
I mean, did he take the snap?
Well, let's see. Okay, so they interviewed his roommates, friends, and family. They poured over hours of surveillance. March 3rd, in the evening hours. Okay, this is how the night went down. March 3rd, in the evening, Caleb played video games at his off-campus apartment at the Cottages on Ennis Jocelyn Road near South Padre Island Drive with his roommates and a mutual friend. They played for more than an hour, and another former classmate who currently lives in Colorado. March 4th, 12:56 is this video. This is from a nearby apartment showing Harris's friend and one of Harris's roommates in the apartment complex parking lot playing with a puppy that belonged to the girlfriend of one of Harris's roommates. According to Corpus Christi police, nothing appeared out of the ordinary. Harris and the two other young men then returned to the apartment. 2:20. The second of Harris's two roommates told Harris that he was heading to bed. So at 2:20, his roommate saw him. Harris told the roommate he was going to order snacks via Uber Eats. Dang it. For his school lunch on Monday. 2:44 a.m., he sent the Snapchat video to his younger sister. The video showed him walking the puppy through what appears to be the apartment complex parking lot. 3:03 a.m., he sent a Snapchat photo to a high school friend who lives in San Antonio. Oh, the bridge picture was to his friend. The picture showed a small bridge over a drainage ditch on the 1900 block of Ennis Jocelyn, within a few hundred feet of the entrance to his apartment. Thank you, Siobhan Stewart. 3:12. His phone pinged at his cell phone last shared its location data with the nearest cell phone tower. 3:20 was the Uber Eats delivery. And then fast forward to 11 a.m. the next day on March 4th, one of his roommates found the Uber Eats outside the front door and saw Harris's pickup truck in front of the apartment. He said that Harris's wallet and keys were in the apartment, but his phone was missing. And the roommates called police to report him missing. So that's...
So he was already out before
Yeah.
his delivery was made then.
Right, but he sent his sister a picture with the puppy, and the puppy was in the apartment when the roommate woke up. So even though he took a picture of that, he sent his sister a picture at 2:44 with the puppy. Then at 3:03, he sent a picture of this drainage ditch. So
Did he have
he
a
must
puppy on
have...
the bridge? I mean,
No, he must have, because at 2:44, he probably took the picture. He was in the parking lot. He probably put the dog inside. But then at 15 minutes later, he's on this bridge. And I'm going to pull it up on Google right now so we can look. This is the 1900 block, but I don't know which way. It looks nice.
mm-hmm.
I don't know which way the bridge is, so just bear with me here. I might be going the wrong way because I don't know where the hell I'm at. I've never looked into this case that deep.
No, I don't know anything about it.
So he lived in the cottages. Where's the entrance to the cottages? Was he right on the water too? Hang on. Let me go to the cottages. All right, here's an aerial view. Where would this thing be? Everything looks so dry. Would it be somewhere around here, you think? Oh, I see. Would it be right here? Yep. It would be right around here. This
Yeah,
is the
looks like
small
it.
bridge. But what
Did they release
manhole?
his last Snapchat picture?
I don't know. I don't think they did. I don't know why he would. I mean,
that's so weird.
I mean, there's a sidewalk, so he could
Was
walk
he
in those
robbed?
shoes. But why would you walk in those shoes?
I don't know. It seems like, I don't know, following someone. Did someone steal his phone?
I mean, there is a bus
Did he
stop
even
right
take that
here as
Snapchat?
well. There's also a bus stop right there. I don't see any manhole covers. Like, I don't understand what that's about. I see these drainage things right here. Like this. Were one of these not covered? I just can't see that. Does anybody
I mean,
else
if it was
know?
dark and he was walking along the side of the road, he could fall in, I guess. But I guess you can't really tell how big they are.
So he took a
That's how
picture and
far out
sent this
he
to a high school friend. The question is, did he talk to that high school friend regularly, or was it odd
Mm.
for him to send that?
Mhm, that's what I was thinking. Like, had they already been having a conversation? Because it's like, what, 3 AM?
Yeah, and you just randomly snap a picture of this bridge? Was he meeting someone there and wanted to know them to know where he was? Could he have walked into the water? I mean, I just don't understand. There was some things on Reddit about him making a hookup on something online, but I
Mm.
don't know if it's ever been. There's a manhole cover in the middle of the median. Wait. There's a manhole cover in the middle of the median over the drain. This is the median, right?
Mhm.
I just wonder if there's a lot of traffic at night. Like, would someone see him walking in the median? I don't see any manhole covers. This?
Why would he walk in the middle anyway?
I don't know. This one here?
I thought I did see something in the middle. Sit further down a little bit.
Hang on, let me do aerial. Let's zoom out. Oh, there is one right here. See it? Is that the one you're
Mhm.
talking about? That's as close as I can get. There. Does that make it bigger? Is that the one you're talking about? They were just talking about manholes last night. There was nothing definitive. Hold on, I'm looking at some screenshots. Okay, let me zoom back out. Thank you, Robin, for the screenshots. Okay, so someone has identified over here. Let's see. Yeah. This is another bridge, right? Or is that the same one?
That's the same one, isn't it?
Yep. That's where they're identifying it, was on this side of the road over here. But I don't know where the manhole cover is. And I don't even know if that's true. I just heard that in some chatter. But apparently this is where he was. He was on this side of the road and took a picture of this.
So weird.
It
I mean,
is
it
weird.
does sound like he possibly did go to meet someone at the bridge. But then what happened?
Right. How did he end up in this water? What's the name of the place? Hang on, let me go back to that. Actually, I wonder if we can find a video on how those things work.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really even know what that would entail. Do you? But I got to find out what they called it. Because every city is different with how they, do their processing and shiz. This says lift station. Wastewater lift station. Operation and maintenance. Videos. Walk through and it's sewage, y'all. I forgot to mention that. So like those workers were in hazmat suits that were getting the remains out. Let's see. This is this video.
My name is Desmond Mitchell. I work with the utilities team on Sutena Nation, and we're just going to do a walkthrough of our main Fish Creek lift station, go over some of the components and just basic operation of a lift station. So we have two sides of this. We have a dry and a wet. Dry well, wet well. Currently, the setup we have now, all of our pumps are on the wet well. We have the control panels, and we have the HMI screen, which lets us see what's going on. So come on over to the screen and we'll walk through some operations. You can see we have our 3 pumps, 1, 2, and 3. They're currently off right now. I have operators down there just cleaning up after doing some repairs. And then this is basically what we're writing down every day. We're keeping track of our pressure, our liters per second, which is obviously at 0. We're not pumping. Reservoir levels, wet well levels. And we can go over some of the components. We have in this building a blower to put oxygen into the wastewater, and as well as a mixer to make sure that soup stays in a soup and not necessarily a solid form.
Oh fuck! Did you hear that? They make it into soup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord Almighty!
Back over here, room 2. So a big part of any lift station should be a backup power source. So if your power goes out, your wastewater won't stop because chances are you have a backup power source on your water side and that'll continue pumping. So this is a big one. We have other ones that are just out remote lift stations and we're able to tow a generator there and plug them in with a cable. So backup generator, and you can see the scale of this thing. It's a monster. So in the event the power goes out, this automatically kicks on. We run checks monthly. We bring someone in annually to do the oil change and just go over and test everything. Some other equipment you'll notice here is this. This is our mixer. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a giant mixer down in the wet well. It just keeps that wastewater moving so it can't settle. And then we have a blower, and it's a giant air compressor that focuses on volume, not pressure, and then that allows us to pump oxygen, air into the wastewater. It helps on a few things. Your BODs, it's going to help stop solidifying anything. It's not a necessary, so if your lift station doesn't have it, don't go running out and try to retrofit it. But if you're building a new one and you're not getting this kind of equipment, definitely ask a few questions. And then you'll see over here we have a bit of a makeshift injection system. And because we don't have safe access, if somebody is here alone to pour the chemicals down the drain or anything like that, we've rigged it up where we just turn on the pumps. Quick and easy. There's no excuse to not get some enzymes and some degreaser down into our clear well to help out with our wastewater quality.
Okay, well that gives us a little bit of knowledge. Here is another one. Oh shit. Damn.
one of our lift stations operates, some of the
Damn.
basic functions of it, and some of the bells and whistles at this station.
Oh my God, the music.
What we're going to do is we're going to perform a system check on this lift station to make sure the pumps and all the operations are operating correctly, and to make sure that the wet well level is going down, and to make sure that there's no other problems that cause a potential overflow or potential problem.
I can't with the music. I'm turning it down. Okay, those are the controls. Oh shit, here we go.
All at one time. On that way. So that tells me that we're looking pretty good on this system right here.
Okay, so are they saying that one of these things was in the road, or was he dropped in one at the station?
I mean, how far is the place that the remains were found from the area that he was last in? Because if
Well,
he
let's
fell
look.
into like a manhole or something, you'd think that you'd get stuck somewhere instead of going all the way through to the processing.
Hang on, let's see how far it is. It must be this. Howard F. Curran. Oh no, that's by me. Jesus, it's not picking up my location. Hold on. Okay, so this gives us the cottages are down here. And it looks like the treatment center's over here.
That is pretty close.
7 miles. If that's correct. Yeah. Let's go down here and look. This is the whole complex. So I don't think he was dropped at the center. I think if there was, I just don't understand why a manhole would be open, but let's keep watching what this dude gets into. Cause I think maybe this is where they had to go to retrieve him, like something like this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it does make sense if he fell into a manhole that he ended up there. And it could take a while.
Go ahead, Billy. Are they going to show us down in there?
I can't see what you're playing.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
It'll be fine. We're fixed to go down into the drywall section of this pump station.
Sorry, I didn't share the screen.
Moving the water out of here like they're supposed to. Billy, if you would, go ahead and turn pump 1 on for me.
So what he did was he opened that up to make sure the water's flowing through.
All right, everything seems to be fine.
We're fixed to go down into the drywall section of this pump station. The depth is approximately about 20 feet, so you're that far underground when you're going down.
20 feet for this one. They said the one they had to go in for Caleb was 40 feet down.
Well, now we're down inside of the dry well. This particular station is a wet well, dry well configuration, meaning we have a wet well that the sewer comes into from the system, and the dry well where the actual pumps sit. A lot of our pump stations are submersibles, so that means that the pumps are actually under the water. They will take and grind the sewer. They'll grind all the different organics and inorganics that come into the sewer system. They'll grind them up and put them on down. This is one of our medium-sized stations that takes care of a pretty good amount of water. One pump for these will do about 700 and we want to see about 750 gallons a minute. I think whenever we tested pump 1 a minute ago, it was doing about 735, so we're looking pretty good. This particular pump station has got 2 pumps. This is fairly new, so it's Everything. We don't have a lot of trouble out of this station, a lot. From here, it comes in from this direction into the pumps, through the check valves, and this right here is actually what's called the force main. This is what puts these pumps connected to put the sewer water out into the system. This eventually goes all the way back to the wastewater treatment plant. That is where the water gets taken care of and put back into the river.
What we're going to do now is show you how this wet well senses the level of water that is in here. This probe has sensors marked on it at every 12 inches. And based off of which marker senses the level, it sends that information over to our electrical panel, which will in turn take that signal and it interprets it and tells the pumps when to come on, based off of a preset level. Once the pumps come on, they will turn off based off the water hitting another sensor, again, at a preset level.
All right, as John was just checking the level probe, as he said, it will send a signal over to this panel and it actually sends it to this piece of equipment right here. This is the actual pump controller. This is what says, hey, pump 1, come on, hey, pump 2, come on, hey, pump, shut off. This is what does it all. If you need, in an emergency or in a checking environment, if you need to operate these pumps manually, these two switches right here will actually
devices that we can use if need be. The first of which is this bypass connection. What we can do with this, in the event that our entire station goes down, we lose both pumps, we lose our control panel, say we lost everything. What we can do is bring a backup pump, drop the suction hose down in the wet well, and plug the discharge hose in here. We do that, we can open our valves, and it works the exact same way as the lift station that you've already seen demonstrated.
What we're going to do now is we're going to demonstrate a power outage. Really, the only way we have it doing it is to disconnect the main power from the service.
Okay, enough of that. So I think we can come to the conclusion that it would not be very pleasant. But I did pull up what Kel said, and it is the same place. It's 13 minutes away from the cottages. It's the Perry Mechanical Systems. Thank you so much, Kels. So we're going to zoom in here. This is where they were, the crime scene investigators were at last night. So I don't know. It's in here somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, we'll wait and see. Let's see if there's any updates this morning. I have a feeling it's going to take them a minute to identify whoever that is.
That is a horrific way to go.
Horrific. The last thing is an hour ago. It just says possible update in missing college student Caleb Harris. 4 months. So it says the body was discovered. So they're saying a body. They're not really saying it was, saying a body was discovered near a collection point around 40 feet deep and full of wastewater. Oh my God. The Corpus Christi Fire Department arrived at the scene wearing hazmat suits and safely drained the wastewater before retrieving the remains for the medical examiner to determine the identity. The police will update the public when there's more information. The pump station is behind the cottages? Oh. I don't know. That's not what it showed me. It showed me right here. Perry Mechanical Systems on, I don't know what road that is. Bear Lane? It makes more sense that it would be near his house, though, but I don't see anything near his house. Are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm
Less
still here.
than a mile away from his apartment, said Spivey. Yeah, I don't see it. But regardless, we'll keep watching for updates. Super sad. Super sad. And disgusting to think that it's all sewer water, you know. Our next story, we got a video to watch. Infuriating. Tracy Ferriter. Tracy Ferret. The boy in the box mom had a plea hearing yesterday where this bitch got to plead guilty to aggravated child abuse and serve 0 jail time. 0.
How is she not having to go to prison?
I don't know.
Like, what? She admitted it and she gets to go home? What?
She gets to go home. What kind of example does
she
this
was
set?
She was complicit in everything that was going on in that house.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't stop anything. She was fully involved, but she gets to go home and he's in prison.
He is serving 5 years. Mm-hmm. All right,
That's shocking.
Let's watch some of this. Oops. What happened? They're all worried about money and shit. Oh, and this is our favorite freaking lawyer or judge who likes to swallow the mic.
Oh, God. I'm assuming they don't get the other kids.
Oh my God, why do I keep doing that? What a cluster. She's not worried at all either.
Is there sound on this?
Maybe this isn't not for her. Oh my God.
Is there sound? Because I can't hear anything.
You can't hear it?
No. I wasn't sure if you could hear me either because I asked if there was sound.
Oh, can everybody else hear it or no? Hi, Wayne. Good to see you.
I haven't seen anyone say there was no sounds. Maybe it was just me.
Well, let me reshare. No one had sound and no one said anything. I love you guys.
We pay $7,700 for that trailer.
Can you hear it
weighed
now?
and registered.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
That was Miss Ruggiero. He just wanted your name.
Oh, yes, Alexa Ruggiero.
Thank you so much. You covered up Miss Gorman. All right, which case, counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. I am calling Tavius Stewart, page 12 of the docket. Mr. Stewart is present via Zoom. And
Let me have counsel approach.
God, what a nightmare. Potato, do you want to give a quick background on this case? Trisha said she's never heard of this story. I guess not. So Tracy and Tim Ferriter were arrested for aggravated child abuse for locking their son Ronan in an 8x8 room that they built in the garage. And they had a Ring doorbell camera. He had a bucket to pee and poop in. It was awful, but you're going to hear kind of a little bit of that when the judge goes over this.
Ferriter. The victim would spend a majority of his time with limited access.
All right, here we go. This is what she's accused of.
All right, so court calls it the matter of State versus Ferriter. I have a plea agreement in this matter. Let me hear factual basis from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Honor, between December 28, 2021 and January 28, 2022, the victim in this case, RF, was the adopted son of the defendant, Tracy Ferriter. At that time, they were living in Jupiter, Florida, in which the victim was staying in an enclosed structure, an 8x8 in the garage. In that garage, the victim would spend a majority of his time with limited access to being outside of that room besides school and sometimes dinners. While in that enclosed structure, the victim had to use the bathroom in a Home Depot bucket. He was not allowed to have access to the air conditioner that was controlled by Mrs. Ferriter. Also, he would not be able to get out of the room. The lock was on the outside. At that time, they also had access to the defendant had access to the light in which he would stay in the room for hours on end. There was a Ring camera that the co-defendant in the case had installed, which depicted all of the days between December 28th and January 28th. The defendant could be identified, and these events occurred in Palm Beach County, Florida.
All right, both sides stipulate to a factual basis for purposes of the plea this morning.
State stipulates.
Defense so stipulates. All right, is there any exculpatory evidence or DNA that the court needs to be made aware of as part of this plea?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and do we have victim input through the attorney ad litem or the guardian ad litem?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke to her. She is in agreement. She knows what the terms will be. And just so Your Honor knows, I did speak to the foster family of the two older daughters, and she also is in agreement and just wants the family to move on.
All right, so from the standpoint of the court's review and consideration of this, it's fair to assume then I have agreement from all constituent parties with respect to this agreement, including the state, the defense, the attorney ad litem for the victim, and the foster parents or guardians for the other two children.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Ms. Ferriter, go ahead and raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down, ma'am. You can go ahead and put your hand down, and do speak up if you could for me. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth, please.
Tracy Ferriter, 10/19/75.
And do you read, write, and understand English?
Yes.
What is your highest level of education?
College degree.
All right, are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or other medications this morning?
No, sir.
Have you ever been treated for any mental or emotional condition?
No, sir.
And you understand that what's happening this morning is as far as the court considering and reviewing your plea and determining whether to approve it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you are represented by your attorneys this morning, is that correct? And are you satisfied with their services regarding the disposition of this matter through this plea agreement that you've signed and presented to the court?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody, including your attorneys, made any promises, threats, or tried to force you into entering into this plea against your will?
No, sir.
Are you doing everything this morning freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferriter, the first document I'm going to show you is a document entitled Plea in the Circuit Court. Second page of that, where I'm holding up, is that your signature, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, did you have an opportunity to read, review, and go over this document with your attorney prior to signing?
Yes, sir.
And did they explain all the terms and conditions and answer all your questions regarding the terms of this plea?
Yes, sir.
And do you in fact understand the terms of the plea that you've signed and presented to the court? All right, so let me go over it again, and I do need to add, there is no signature for the judge here. I'm going to add a line there because this is a little bit different than my normal form. I'm going to go over the agreement with you at this point, ma'am, to make sure that you're clear on the terms. You will be pleading guilty in case number 22 CF 001136 A and B to the following charges. A first-degree felony in count 1 for aggravated child abuse, a third-degree felony in count 2 for false imprisonment, and a third-degree felony in count 3 for neglect of a child. PSI is waived or not required. You will be adjudicated as to all 3 counts, which means you will have convictions on your record for each of the 3 felonies I've just explained to you. The sentence will be as follows. You will be sentenced to a period of 10 years of probation as follows. 10 years of probation as to count 1, 5 years of probation is to count 2, and 5 years of probation is to count 3, all to run concurrent. In addition, all conditions of probation must be successfully completed no less than 30 days before your probation is scheduled to terminate, and the terms and conditions of the probation are as follows. You'll be subject to standard fine and cost. You'll also be subject to cost of prosecution of $200. You will be subject to random drug testing at your expense, and you will be required to complete 300 hours of community service at a rate of not less than 10 hours per month.
Drug testing? Why drug testing? How about parenting classes? How about something for her mental state that she thought it was okay to have Ronan in a room with a bucket? I am shocked at this sentence.
To do also a mental health evaluation, number C.
Yeah, I didn't see that. It's checked, but so as part of this.
Oh, they don't want to do it? Too bad.
Yes, I checked the wrong thing. It's not the random drug testing, it's the mental health.
Oh, that makes more
Okay,
sense.
so let me have you make that change and have Ms. Ferriter initial it. That's why I didn't mention mental health before, because it wasn't checked.
Unbelievable. Really?
And I think on the signature page, I should have a date by each of those signatures, so it's clear that all of them have been executed today. So if you could just do that.
That's fine, just initial it. Just put initial it.
You may. Did you date the signature page?
No, sir.
Let's put a date by each of the signatures so I can just make sure that it's all dated.
Yeah, I think it was a day, right? One day?
2 days in jail.
Can you just date it right there?
2 days.
You can approach. All right, so Ms. Ferriter, let me just backtrack just for a moment. The random drug testing at your expense, that is not a condition of the probation. That has been stricken. What is a condition that I didn't allude to earlier is that you will be required to undergo a mental health evaluation and successful completion of any recommended treatment, and you must enroll within 30 days of house arrest into that program. You understand all that? Again, the 300 hours of community service at a rate of not less than 10 hours per month still applies. And the sentence, the custodial part is for 2 days with credit for time served of 2 days. And you understand that by entering into the plea, you waive any right to claim anything more than the 2 days credit for time served. Do you understand all that? All right, there are other comments and conditions that I need to go over with you on this plea, so let me proceed with that. You're also going to be required to submit a DNA sample by oral swab as a part of this plea. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then under the other comments and conditions, they provide as follows. You may transfer probation to Cook County, Illinois. If you transfer probation and you're accepted in Cook County, you must start in-house arrest within 14 days of being accepted to Cook County. The in-house arrest shall be for a period of 1 year as a condition of probation. If you are not accepted to Cook County to serve your sentence within 60 days of this plea agreement, you shall be required to be on the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in-house arrest program for a period of 1 year. So in that event, that means you'd have to come back to Florida in Palm Beach County to serve out the 1 year of in-house arrest, because I know there's no way that they could do in-house arrest in Illinois. So any violations of either Cook County, Illinois in-house arrest or PBSO in-house arrest shall be considered a violation of probation. As a condition of probation, you shall complete an in-person 12-hour anger management class. You also shall complete an in-person triple P parenting course or a similar type of parenting course in Cook County, Illinois. If permitted by probation, you must enroll in the anger management and parenting course within the first 90 days of starting in-house arrest. You're not allowed to have any contact with RF, and you agree to waive extradition to Florida in the event there's a violation of probation. And you shall not be employed where the primary purpose is to interact with children. And you are allowed to have contact with the co-defendant, Timothy Ferriter. Do you understand all those terms and conditions I've just outlined for you?
Yes.
Okay. You have any questions of the court about anything?
Part of her plea deal is she can talk to her husband. She can go visit her husband, or maybe she can't visit him, but she could talk to Tim.
Thing I've just discussed or explained to you.
What did they say about the kids?
Well, she's moving to Illinois. Okay. So her mother lives in Illinois, and her mother has the child that her and Tim had together. Okay. So their biological child is with her mom, and now she's going to live with her mom. So she's going to be with her bio child.
So
then,
she gets to go back with her kid.
With the bio kid. Now the adopted children want nothing to do with them, and they're in foster care. And he specified no contact with Ronan. So Ronan, no contact with Tim or Tracy. And the other two adopted children, I think, made up their own mind that they don't want contact, but there's no contact order.
That's shocking. When I heard him say that she needed to go on parenting courses, I was thinking, so that means that she can have her kid back. But if she's allowed to just move straight back in with them, then there's nothing in place for that child.
Yeah. So fuck the adopted kids.
Frightening.
Right? Fuck the adopted kids. She gets a second chance with her bio kid. So her mother has custody. I actually think her mother may have adopted him. Or maybe not adopted, but legal guardianship type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so she's the one responsible for the child. But she's going to be living with them.
Yep. And she's allowed to, she gets no jail time
punishment.
And gets to leave the freaking state. They should have made her ass stay in the... I'm sorry, what?
Her only punishment really is community service, and even that she only has to do 10 hours a month.
And she's going to be in another state, so she doesn't even have to stay in the state of Florida. And who's going to follow up and make sure she completes all this? I mean, hopefully they do, but I don't have a whole lot of faith in them even taking this sentence seriously.
I can't even believe it.
It's sick. She can't work around minors. She can't have a job where she's around children. But she can be around her own baby. She's just on house arrest.
Right. I mean, she was a danger to the children she had in her own house. But that's okay. She can just go straight back to work.
Yeah. How about what she subjected her bio child to? Seeing Ronan trapped in his room. How about we do mandatory counseling for this child and what he saw? The fuck?
I would hope they were doing that. How old is their bio child?
I want to say, let me look it up, but I want to say he was 5. Let me see. Ferriter children. Let's see how old they are. Okay, so this is what they had. Let's see. So they were both 46 when they were arrested. They had 4 children. A 2-year-old boy, So he was 2, and this was in 2022. So he's 4. So he may not even remember. But regardless, I mean, she thought this was a fucking okay. 2-year-old boy, 13 and 16-year-old girls, and Ronan, who was 14. So they adopted the 13, 16-year-old girls and Ronan, the 14-year-old boy. He was the only one that was locked in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And Timothy only got 5 years. And Timothy was the one orchestrating all of this, installing the Ring camera. We saw video. I mean, it was recorded. The abuse was recorded.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
It's
if that
not
person
even-
hadn't discovered that room, they probably wouldn't have even been found out. Like, how far could all of this have gone? And now she has a second chance.
She has a second chance. Yeah, and Trisha says, wow, they were allowed to adopt. Not only that, they were very involved in the Catholic Church. They went to other countries on missions, and that's where they found these children. And Tim
Wasn't he
Ferriter.
also an ex-cop?
Yes. Was he an ex-cop or was his dad? Something about him.
It was him.
It was him, wasn't it? And then he went into like sales or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is just
Yeah,
a
'cause I
prick.
can remember when it first came out. Yeah, ex-LA. No, not that one. Yeah, I can remember when it first came out that there was something about him being...
His demeanor reminds
law
me of
enforcement.
the treadmill dad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that case is awful.
But yeah, they were Catholics. They were Timothy Ferriter was on a podcast with a bishop, with a Catholic bishop, to talk about his good doings in the community. I trolled that bishop on Twitter for a year. Every time he'd tweet, I'd be like, what do you have to say about Timothy Ferriter's actions? Do you have a comment? He kept the podcast up with Tim.
I bet he had none.
He had none.
Wow.
Never acknowledged it. Yeah, they both have black eyes. They honestly, they look like brother and sister. It's creepy. They could be related.
They do. They really do.
It's really, really creepy. So there they are. There's Tim. He looks like damn skinny big boy. Look at that hair.
His Lego head.
Yep. She's had her hair done because her hair was lighter today. This bitch is out getting her hair done and shit. She was living with that millionaire guy that I showed the body cam. Remember, he got pulled over in his Ferrari, that douchebag that ran from the cops. She was living in his mansion with him and his wife. Probably some weird ass swinging shit going on. Weird. Lego head. He's like the Fisher Price little people, the dad with the plastic hair.
Johnny Bravo hair.
And she looks like a little mouse. I can't. If you're in Cook County, Illinois, look out. Look out, because she's moving up your way. Disgusting. Just absolutely.
Dad from Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, Chicago. Chicago is my kind of town. Yeah, she's coming up there, guys. She's coming from Florida up there. Mousy little bitch. So she's on house arrest for a year, which means she's got to stay home. Random fun fact. When I lived in Daytona Beach, I dated a guy whose dad was on house arrest. And I was young, man. And now I think about it, and I remember asking him, why is your dad? Because his dad never left the house. And he told me one time that his dad was on house arrest for attempting, get this, to hire a fucking hitman to kill his wife.
Holy.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Yes. 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 And little old me kept dating the guy.
On house arrest?
And little old me kept dating him.
What?
He's actually very normal now. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he's got a family, and he's doing extremely well. And if he happens to be listening, you know who you are. But yeah, I was never scared of it because I was only like 19 years old. I didn't see him much.
How do you get house arrest for trying to hire a hitman?
Dude, I don't know the whole story. I tried years later, I tried to look up the story to try to find it because I think it happened in New York. So I was looking for the story, but I never could find anything. I think because it happened so long ago, I'd probably have to go in like newspaper archives. Cricket says great way to get into jail. Right. Yeah, I met him a couple times, but he was always just sitting in a chair and in the house, and he looked depressed. It was weird. But you know what? It just goes to show when you're that age, you don't have a clue what things really mean. You hear that and you don't
No, you wouldn't
really
even think about it.
No, I mean, yeah, he planned this thing and talked to this guy about paying him money, and he got caught. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I never would want to be alone with him, but it just goes to show how naive you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was before my true crime days. The only thing I had watched at that point was Unsolved Mysteries, and it scared the bejesus out of me. The music. Like, I'd have to have someone in the room with me when I watched it.
Oh, you know what I saw yesterday? I mean, this is off topic. Kind of. Your Mean Girl Murder show is on Prime Video in the UK now.
Oh, it is. How amazing. Thank you for sharing.
I put it on, and my daughter was like, wait. She was like, is that Jay? I was like, yeah. She was like, why is she on Prime Video?
Oh my God.
Famous?
That's so cool. That's so cool.
She was like, oh my God.
If you guys have not seen it, Mean Girls Murders season 2 episode. Is it episode 1?
So episode 2, I think it is.
Season 2, episode 2. I believe. It's been scrolling in the chat. But how amazing. Now I'm in the UK on it. Wow.
On Prime Video right there.
Wow.
It was recommended. I was like, oh, wait, it's on here now because I checked before and it wasn't out yet. Now it is.
Pretty cool stuff. Thanks for sharing. Trisha says, I got to watch that now. Billy Crystal says Orlando in the late 90s was epic. It totally was. Even the early 90s. I remember I went and saw, totally off topic, but I saw Cypress Hill and House of Pain in Orlando in like 92. Talk about epic. Okay, let me show you guys because for members, I did upload that Mica Miller, and I need to release it for members, but I don't know. I got to find out if I can. Let's see. Mean Girl Murders season 2. I'll show you guys. Let me share this. Okay. So it would be season 2, Church Camp Killer right here. Watch Discovery Plus, Max, Philo, YouTube, Hulu, Sling TV, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Google Play, and Fandango at home, and Investigation Discovery on cable.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere now. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. So yeah, you can watch it all those places. How sweet is that? So there's wow, they've released a lot more. They're up to 6. And this is season 2. You saw 9 Inch Nails in Lakeland. That's pretty badass. That's pretty badass. All right, so check out Mean Girl Murders season 2, episode 2, Church Camp Killer. We have another story. Potato, are you down?
I have about 10 minutes and then I've got to go to work.
Oh, work sucks. Work sucks. Okay, so let me pull up this video then. I want to play this before you have to go. This happened. Okay, so I've taken you guys, some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, but I've taken you guys over the Sunshine Skyway Bridge on an occasion or two, and I've shared the videos. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge is in St. Pete, and it takes you over to like the Sarasota area. And this happened, guys, yesterday. Now, this isn't even actually the bridge. This is like the bridge before the bridge. Like the big bridge is another section. But obviously, this is leading up to that. Check this out. I'm going to turn the volume down because they have music. This truck, I don't know how the hell this happened, but look at this. Freaking Frontier cable teetering on the edge of this bridge.
That is terrifying.
Right? How the hell? Look at that.
How did it get up there?
How did it
hit
get up
someone
there?
else or what?
I don't know. This is all I saw. I haven't looked into it. I saw this morning. I was like, oh my word. Because, I mean, you look down, it's not that far down, but still, it's water.
I mean, exactly. It's still water.
What do you do? Look at the driver's side is over the water. Luckily, he had this side to get out.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. Yep. And luckily, that was the only vehicle involved, you know? It's terrifying, right? What do you do? Cricket's like, what do you do? I know it. Have you guys
They're so lucky, man.
probably texting? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, those little tiny barrier things, they look like little ramps.
They're
Why are they
literally
so small.
I think they're small because it's not that far down, but it's still like fuck, it's still water.
Still, you don't want to go over there.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I
It's
don't.
only a small drop.
You know, that's a really good question. I don't know. Let's
Like
Google.
there's a whole gap between those two sides, and you got a tiny
Totally.
little bit in the middle.
You know, I never thought
I've
about
seen
that.
bigger central reservation bits like on just normal roads, let alone on a bridge with water underneath.
Okay, I'm gonna show y'all it on Google Maps. Okay, let's see. Share. Okay, let's go down. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating to drive over.
Oh, it's
But-
terrifying. I can't.
Okay, so so before you get to it, right? You're on a freeway, and then this is where kind of like they are, where it's not so deep. I'll show you. See, so you're driving towards it. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, you don't get much more beauty than this. Look at this on either side of you.
It is
But-
pretty. It is
Would you be
pretty, but
scared?
it's still scary. Yeah. I've driven over these. We've been like when I went to Florida, it's the worst.
But see, this.
I don't think I could actually drive over by myself.
But see, this is the barrier right here that he was dangling. These ones that are
I mean,
separated.
look, see? It's so small.
It really is. Now that you think about it, this is the old bridge over here. This is part of the old bridge that the barge ran into, and it broke it apart. Now it's a fishing pier, but this is that. But then you see the big bridge coming up. But yeah, I mean, you're right. That's just a curb. It's like a curb for a fucking parking spot almost.
Yeah, it is.
Mrs. Smith. But isn't that wild? The old bridge. It's kind of eerie to look at, right? To think that
Mhm.
You know, this was around the section where that barge like just went right through it. And yeah, that curb is kind of crazy. Look at, there's a mark right there. Oh, hells no.
Oh my god.
See that shit?
I wonder how often people actually hit that.
Oh, hell to the no. I see rubber.
Yeah. Oh my god. Can you imagine the wheel going up that?
No, and then, you know, if you run into
my
another
God.
car and then they go over this side. Oh, hell no.
Jesus.
Yep. There's the old bridge. Isn't that crazy? It always spooks me out. So they recently in the last couple of years put actually suicide net on the big bridge. They didn't have that before. Look, we're going the wrong. We're doing it England style. We're on the wrong side. But see, this is where the net starts. But look, it's still just a curb right here. I've never paid attention to that. Hell, now I'm never going to look at it the same. Exactly, Kel. She says, add some trampolines down there and call it a damn day. There was a really tragic story, though, that John Chuck was his name, of all names. This crazy motherfucker. Look at it. It's still only open in the middle. Even on the big section of the bridge. I'm done.
Is it like that the whole way down?
I'm done. I never noticed it until now. I'm done. Now it made me pay attention to this curb. Yes.
Oh,
the
my
whole
God. And how high is
way.
it?
Dude, I don't even know. We're almost to the top point, but let me. Oh, no, it closes up. See, they close it up with concrete when you get to the top.
Oh, thank God.
But look how high you are.
I mean, still, you're still on the way up, though, when it's still
Right
open.
here in the distance, right here, that's Tampa. You can see Tampa from up here. People say one big wave and whoosh. Nope. They actually close this down when it's really windy and stuff, if there's bad weather, but these are the things holding this.
I mean, it's still really low on the outside where those little fence thingies are. They're not going to stop a car, are they?
The curbs?
Yeah, on the other side. Like it's closed in the middle, but on the outside.
We have a net.
It's just got those little. Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a net.
It's okay, isn't it?
Kels says a harp is holding it together. It's pretty cool though. At night they light it up different colors for different events. But yeah, these guys get up here and work on this ish. It's crazy. I mean, it is crazy. So this is like the highest point right here. Look, emergency phone. Yeah, could I get out and use that? What the fuck? What do you got to do? Stand on the fucking net to use the phone? Crying out cats.
My God.
No, it's emergency crisis counseling or motorist aid. Good Lord. Isn't that petrifying? Anyways, John Chuck threw his 4-year-old daughter over this bridge. Not on the high point, on the lower point. Drugs. Look at this. There is hope. Make the call. 1, open the phone. 2, lift handset. 3, push red button. 4, listen for response. Isn't that sad?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have this kind of shit?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Scary. Yeah, it is sad. He was a monster. John Chuck. What a POS. They got another one. 2 phones up there. But yeah. So you get over to the other side, then it opens up again. I'll show you. And this is the way I have to go to get my granddaughter. Every time we go over this twice. But see, it's opened up again. You don't have those big nets on your bridges? This is a pretty big bridge. And we've had a lot of people jump off it. There's been a lot. But see, they have that netting going all the way down here. And then you're back to the curb. And then you enter into the Bradenton, Sarasota area. And there is the old bridge. The other section. So they removed where it broke off, where the barge hit it, all the way. This just fascinates me. All the way over to where it was over here. It's just all open now. But they put big buoys in the water, these big, huge bumpers. So that, obviously if that happens again, it will hit a bumper versus a boat. You're on the Treasure Coast, on the East Coast. Beautiful over there. I love the East Coast of Florida, or the West Coast of Florida. I don't know if you can't. Oh, there's a bumper. You can kind of see it on the top of that curb. Someone lost their luggage. But you can see like a bumper. There's a bunch of those concrete like bumpers. But yeah, this is the area as well where Fort DeSoto Park is over this way, where Dog the Bounty Hunter was searching for Brian Laundrie and all that. All that mess is over here. So yeah, just a little geography lesson with Jay. Moving on. Potato, if you have to hop off.
Yeah, I'm going to go now because I need to go to work.
Well, thank you for joining. It was nice. Hot. I know. Stay cool at work. I know you'll have the fans blaring, blasting.
Oh my God, we don't have any AC or anything.
Do y'all have air?
I'm dying. They have fans, but it's like the gym's in a big warehouse thing. So even if you got fans on, it really doesn't do anything. It just pushes the heat back down onto you.
Oh, well, you need one of those neck things. You need one of those neck things for your neck.
I do.
We'll have to get one.
My own personal AC attached to me.
Yeah, you guys aren't used to that heat. It's a big deal, you know.
What? Yeah, I mean it's a drastic change as well. It was cold and now it's boiling hot. I'm not used to it. Anyway, thank you for having me on.
Have a good day at work.
Thank you.
All right, we'll
Bye,
see you.
Guys. Bye.
It was a pleasure having the potato up here this morning. Give her a round of applause. That was a long applause. Wow. All right, our final thing to go over today in this morning live, since it is officially afternoon now. Welcome to Jay is for Justice in the afternoon. She was great. She's always great. Love our potato. We have the report of Mica Miller, which I know I haven't really covered this case, but I did have this sent to me yesterday, and I thought that some of you might be interested in it. I don't know the ins and outs of this case. I know that her husband is shyster, but I don't know the ins and outs. But I did want to go over what was in this, let you guys see it. And that's it. So this is the report of investigation by the medical examiner, and this is from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. And it says here, gunshot wound to the head was the probable cause of death. Now, this isn't the autopsy. This is the medical examiner. Have you, September? You've probably seen this then. But we're just going to run through it really quick. It says under medical history, it says other, and it says no PCP. And then means of death. Can I zoom in on this? This is a little small. There we go. Ooh, even better. So it says here, means of death. It says gun, handgun, caliber 9mm. not on a job, fatal injury or illness, activity, shot self with handgun, type of place, Lumber River State Park, 2819 Princess Anne Road, Lumberton, North Carolina. I did see some of the protests yesterday on CJ's. Hi, Wayne. Have a great day. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Delyn. I like coming on in the morning. I wish I could go on camera, but my eye is like swollen and red. Description of body intact. It says 5'5", 140 pounds, hair color brown, eyes brown, teeth natural. A long sleeve black shirt, black pants, black belt, green bra, pair of black shoes, a pair of gray underwear, and a pair of black socks. And then she had valuables of a yellow color necklace with a clear stone, a metallic ring with a clear stone, a black watch, and a black bracelet, one pair of bird earrings. Yes, from the lashes. Ugh. And then here we have a diagram. Which shows the wound going in right above her ear. I don't know if you guys knew all this. But it shows her tattoos. And what I noticed, and like I said, I haven't followed this case close at all. But this is disturbing to me that she had his signature on her ribs. John Paul Miller. That's very controlling to me. And I have a random story. So a guy that I used to work with, his wife, I shit you not, had a tattoo down there that said Paul's pussy. That is weird. Now, is that not weird? But him having his signature on her, like he signed her. He branded her. He branded her with his name. Mm-hmm. I don't even have to know the case to know that's creepy as fuck. I didn't really notice anything else. She had a lot of tattoos. She had her eyebrows were tattooed. She had a tattoo of a butterfly on her back, lotus flower, tattoo of birds, crosses on her hand. She had humble, pure humble, and then it's redacted. Oh, that was on accident. Faithful. Something. I can't read it. A tattoo, a band tattoo. She also had a closed skull fracture, front and back of her skull. That's weird. But I'm no, doctor, so. But there is the gunshot wound above the ear. All right, so I'll read this for you guys. Decedent, 30-year-old female who was visually identified by law enforcement through photo ID. According to decedent's family, they had tried to call and text decedent on 4/27/24 without success. Decedent was last known alive visually by surveillance camera gas station at 4135 South Highway 41 in Mullins, South Carolina at 1333, which is 133. And verbally, per conversation with 911 dispatcher, at 2:54, in which decedent asked if the dispatcher could see her location. Decedent voiced to 911 dispatcher that she was about to kill herself and wanted her family to be able to find her. 911 dispatcher was notified and began searching for decedent at Lumber River State Park. At 15:20, decedent's phone was pinged, and at 15:33, law enforcement had drone dispatched to area. 15:42, Verizon phone carrier was notified for location verification. At 15:42, decedent's car was identified at Lumber River State Park and parking lot secured. Law enforcement found in vehicle a 9mm 6-hour hard gun case and receipt showing the weapon was purchased at Dick's Pawn Shop at Myrtle Beach on 4/27/24 at 12:32. So an hour before she called 911. Law enforcement also confirmed the weapon was purchased with the decedent's debit card. At 16:23, law enforcement was alerted by a kayaker a body was found in river. Law enforcement was also given a black bag with ID and money that was found on bank of river by a person at the river. Law enforcement recovered 2 spent casings and 1 live round on bank of river. Now, I don't know anything about guns, but if you shoot yourself once, how many casings are you going to have? Why would there be 2? Maybe I'm wrong. 2 spent casings and 1 live round. Thank you so much, Sherry, for your super chat. I love how it spells out the emoji. So goofy. Regional pathologist was called to scene for assistance. Decedent was found prone, submerged in river beside tree limbs about 100 feet from casings. Yeah, that's weird. Why would there be 2? I mean, you shoot yourself once, right, in the head. Like, you don't have the opportunity to do it again. No signs of physical struggle at location of casing. Decedent was removed from water by law enforcement in a boat and brought to the bank of river. Bank of river was muddy and had heavy brush with briars. Decedent had dirt and debris on her hands and clothing. At 1911, a 9mm 6-hour pistol was removed from the river approximately 5 feet from bank using a magnet, and serial number on the gun matched the gun case found in the decedent's car. It could have been Robin. Maybe. I don't know. Medical records documented decedent was hospitalized on 11/29/2022 until 12/5. So for a week. On suicidal precautions for bipolar. Bipolar 1. Recurrent manic episode. Tetrahydrocannabinol dependence. I don't even know what that is. And dependent personality disorder. Dependent personality disorder? Dependent personality, aka maybe that was grooming? The hell? The decedent was hospitalized from 2/7 to 2/12, secondary to emergency protective custody by her therapist. Who was her therapist? Emergency protective custody? I'll be damned. Someone's taking emergency protective custody. Some therapist? What is that? Medical records stated 2 prior mental health hospitalizations and a previous suicide attempt with firearm. What was the attempt with a firearm? Did she miss? That doesn't even make sense. Oh, she smoked pot. Big deal. Records on 2/7/24. That would be when she was put in emergency protective custody by her therapist. Records on 22724 also state Delta 8 gummy consumption and increased paranoia with bizarre behavior. Decedent's family did confirm her previous suicide attempt by firearm. Which family? Oh, I'm sure, Megan. I'm sure he was. On April 24th, decedent's record stated that she was seen and given prescription for hydrocizine, 25 milligrams for anxiety. I think that's like an antihistamine. Addicted to marijuana and committed for dependent yeah, that sounds like that came from him. Dependent, what was it? Dependent personality disorder. He's disgusting. Dependent personality disorder. While she's got his name tattooed on her ribs. His signature, no less. Weird. Regional pathologist assisted and examined the decedent. Exam was consistent with the reported incident. Upon further consultation with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner and law enforcement, there was no concern for foul play and an autopsy was not warranted. And that's it. It says this is not an autopsy report. This is the medical examiner report. It says that she has post-mortem wounds consistent with retrieval from the river and the brush, including briars. Closed skull fracture. Could have been from falling after she shot herself. I mean, is it is it out of the norm to think that maybe she was this way, like maybe she was suicidal because of him? Like sad that, you know, she saw this as her only way out, maybe? It's so fucking weird and sad. It really is. I've got 2 more videos. We're going to pop back to Tracy Ferriter making a public statement because I didn't know that she did this. But for those of you that follow the Mica Miller case, I hope that helped. I don't know if you found that to be pertinent, but I wanted to actually, share that. I don't know. Are they investigating? I don't even know what's going on in that. But here is Miss Tracy herself. Even Streamlabs said, yikes. Here's this bish. I love my family. And her lawyer's explaining why she pled guilty. Oops. Exonerated? Oh, you don't have any sound? Okay, hold on. Let me reshare. Sometimes you have to reshare it.
Tracy did this so she could put some peace with her family. She didn't want to put her children through a trial. That was her main impetus for taking this plea. She wanted it to be resolved. And it was a completely different case than what was presented through her husband's case. So even though she had a very good chance of being exonerated, she really wanted to just put this to rest so her children can have some peace.
What's the one thing you want the public to know?
That Tracy's not a monster, that this is a human being who's extremely educated, loving, adopted children out of the goodness of her heart, and The media really got it wrong because, unfortunately, we don't know about children with RAD, reactive attachment disorder, and pretty much hopefully this brings some light to it, and maybe Tracy in the future will talk more about this and help other families who went through or are going through what she and her family went through. It's horrible.
How would have her trial been different from her husband's?
Heidi?
In a number of ways. Probably first and foremost is that Tracy was going to take the stand. Unlike Tim, there was never a question Tracy was going to testify and tell her side of the story, which would have shed enormous light, and the jury would have had an opportunity to hear the horror that she had to live with on a daily basis. We also had experts that were not in Tim's case. There was a nationally renowned expert, RAD expert, that I think would have provided a wealth of information to the jury to better understand that situation and what she was going through on a daily basis.
What she was going through? So why does she need to stay in contact with him? Why was that part of her plea that she can continue to speak with Tim Ferriter if her life was so fucking bad? Or is she saying her life was so fucking bad because of the teenager that she chose to adopt? I am disgusted. Wow.
There also would have been a child that had not testified in the first trial that was going to be called by the defense in the second trial, in her trial, that would have corroborated the daily fear and violence that this family was put through and had to deal with.
So she is saying Tim was violent. She is saying Tim was violent, but then it was put in her plea agreement that she can have contact with him while he's in prison. Oh, I hate you, Tracy Ferriter. I hope no one ever wants to be your friend again. I don't even know what else to say. Oh my God.
Would you like to ask Tracy?
Yes, Tracy, do you regret how you treated your son?
We were living a life that it's not what it's portrayed in the media. There was a lot of things that nobody knew. We were completely...
She is still making excuses. OMG.
loving family. I love my kids. We just tried to do the best that we could with what we had.
And how are you feeling right now?
It's tough because I'm doing this because I want my kids to be able to not be a part of this trial, have their names all over the media, and that they can move on. But I know the way our family really was. I know the truth of what we were just trying to do. We loved all of our children, and we just were trying to deal with something that there's no cure for. You just try daily, and you try to do whatever you can as a parent, and that's what we were trying to do. And
I can't.
You know, it's just a hard road, and there's not help for this condition. There's not help, that can help parents just to work through it. And
Listen, asshole. Listen, asshole, Tracy. You were integrated in the Catholic Church. You had resources. But you chose to go along with your POS, hot-headed ass husband. She went along with this. This bitch should not. Oh, I am heated. This is where her son was living. See the bucket down at the very bottom? Maybe you can't see it. Let me turn that scroller off. Oh, this is infuriating. I don't think I can turn it off. Damn it. It's making me freeze up. Oh, wait, here we go. See the bucket? That was her son's toilet. The son that she chose to adopt. And he had to empty it and clean it every morning. Yep. And this bitch is going to sit here and act like she did her kids a favor because she saved them from a trial. Oh my God. And she got no jail time. None.
To deal with some of these behaviors you're dealing with constantly every day. So
Tracy is one of the most altruistic, loving people that I have ever had the pleasure to meet.
Are you
Everything that's been
fucking
portrayed
kidding
is
me?
wholly inconsistent with the way she is.
And we spoke to at least 100 people who knew this family, and everyone said these were the most loving.
Fuck off. Then why didn't you fight the charges? I think that's her mother. I think that's her mother right there in the background.
Religious-based family out there, and they
Oh, there's such a see this horse shit? Look at her mom. Her mom knows. Her mom's ashamed. That's a look of shame. Look at her.
loved their kids and treated everybody phenomenally, but nobody really knows what's going on behind closed doors. And when you have a child who unfortunately doesn't have a moral compass and can't attach to anybody because of the abuse, unfortunately, that he suffered in an orphanage, sometimes you wind up with things like this that are very sad stories.
Wow. Wow. I have literal chills right now. These are what you're witnessing right now. I wish I had my sound bites. What you're witnessing right now is evil. This person, this lawyer, he is evil. He doesn't care about children. I can tell you that right the fuck now. This guy could care less what happens to kids. What an awful human being to make excuses, to sit there and take a plea deal for this monster, atrocious excuse of a mother. Set up a plea deal for her and then sit there and say, oh, she would have been exonerated. We did it for the kids. No, Cinnamon Hot, he only got 5 years. She got 10 years probation. And she gets to move to Illinois with her mama.
And they become very non-productive citizens, unfortunately, and sometimes do terrible things. Tracy was trying to protect her family. She was trying to protect her children. She was trying to protect herself. All this would have came out, but Tracy, as being altruistic, didn't want to put her children through any more publicity and wanted just everyone to move on.
I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless on this one. Florida, you failed.
and to deal with some of these.
Look at this bitch. Like a rat on fucking cheese. I can't with her. She's crying because she's relieved she's not doing jail time. I want to watch this again. I'm sorry. I am livid.
Tracy did this so she could put some peace with her family. She didn't want to put her children through a trial. That was her main impetus for taking this plea. She wanted it to be resolved. And it was a completely different case than what was presented through her husband's case.
You know what?
So even though she had a...
How dare he say that this child was non-productive member of society? No, he wasn't. I watched the dad's trial. That boy that he just called a non-productive member of society was so intelligent that he was able to hack the school computers to change his grades. Ronan was a genius. He was understimulated. He was not challenged because he was so bright. So what did they do? Instead of finding something productive like fucking robotics for this kid to get involved in, or computer programming, putting that knowledge to something productive versus something illegal. Nope, they just called a contractor and asked them to build a room in the garage with no windows, with nothing. A lock on the outside. And this contractor went to the police and said, This doesn't sound right.
A very good chance of being exonerated. She really wanted to just put this to rest so her children can have some peace.
What's the one thing you want the public to know?
That Tracy's not a monster, that this is a human being who's extremely educated, loving, adopted children out of the goodness of her heart. And the media really got it wrong because, unfortunately, we don't know about children with RAD, reactive attachment disorder, and pretty much hopefully this brings some light to it, and maybe Tracy in the future will talk more about this and help other families who went.
Well, how's she going to help other families? Ew, look at his tongue. Oh, help other families. Checklist number 1. Don't call a contractor because they will call the police. Build the room yourself. How the fuck is she going to help anyone?
Through or going through what she and her family went through. It's horrible.
How would have her trial been different from her husband's?
Heidi?
In a number of ways. Probably first and foremost is that Tracy was going to take the stand. Unlike Tim, there was never a question. Tracy was going to testify and tell her side of the story, which would have shed enormous light, and the jury would have had an opportunity to hear the horror that she had to live with on a daily basis. We also had experts that were not in Tim's case. There was a nationally renowned expert, RAD expert, that I think would have provided a wealth of information to the jury to better understand that situation and what she was going through on a daily basis.
Unbelievable.
There also would have been a child that had not testified in the first trial that was going to be called by the defense in the second trial, in her trial, that would have corroborated the daily fear and violence that this family was put through and had to deal with.
Would you like to ask Tracy?
Yes, Tracy, do you regret how you treated your son?
We were living a life that it's not what it's portrayed in the media. There was a lot of things that nobody knew. We were a completely loving family. I love my kids. We just tried to do the best that we could with what we had.
And how are you feeling right now?
It's tough because I'm doing this because I want my kids to be able to not be a part of this trial, have their names all over the media, and
bullshit.
They can move on. And
bullshit. Their dad already went through trial. He's already serving time in a Florida prison. You weren't going to save your children from any shame. Oh, you ratchet bitch.
But I know the way our family really was. I know the truth of what we were just trying to do. We loved all of our children, and we just were trying to deal with something that there's no cure for. You just try daily, and you try to do whatever you can as a parent, and that's what we were trying to do. And it's just a hard road, and there's not help for this condition. There's not help, that can help parents just to work through it and to deal with some of these behaviors you're dealing with constantly every day. So
Tracy is one of the most altruistic, loving people that I have ever had the pleasure to meet. Everything that's been portrayed is wholly inconsistent with the way she is.
And we spoke to at least 100 people who knew this family, and everyone said these were the most loving, religious-based family out there, and they loved their kids and treated everybody phenomenally. But nobody really knows what's going on behind closed doors.
You got that right, motherfucker. Look at Ruby Frankie. Look at Jody Hildebrandt. Get out of here. Look at him with his Hitler stash.
And when you have a child who, unfortunately, doesn't have a moral compass and can't attach to anybody because of the abuse, unfortunately, that he suffered in an orphanage, sometimes you wind up with things like this that are very sad stories.
Oh yeah, he could have died. What was next? What happened when the box wasn't enough, sir? Then what? Then we would have missing Ronan Ferriter. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. All they did was prolong the fucking inevitable. He just said that kid had no moral compass and was not going to be productive to society. How dare he?
and they become very non-productive citizens, unfortunately, and sometimes do terrible things. Tracy was trying to protect her family. She was trying to protect her children. She was trying to protect herself. All this would have came out, but Tracy, as being altruistic, didn't want to put her children through any more publicity and wanted just everyone to move on.
I don't know why they keep saying that. Selfless.
Prosecutors describe a man on trial for the...
Hold on. She's selfless, Miss Ferriter.
And to deal with some of these behaviors you're dealing with constantly every day. So
Tracy is one of the most altruistic, loving people that I have ever had the pleasure to meet.
Look at her. She's soaking it up too. And look at him. He's like, yep, we're getting that paycheck. Yep, we're getting that paycheck. Slimy. I don't know, but her friends have lots of money. These people had a very, very nice home. I don't know, Ohana. I have no sympathy for her. I don't try to understand people like her because I can't. We did the best with what we were dealt with. Bitch, you chose to adopt him. This is what Tracy Ferriter. This is what Tracy Ferriter allowed her husband to do to their adopted son. And he was the adopted son in their eyes was the aggressive one. I'm telling you, it never came out in this dude's trial that kid was aggressive. Never.
You ripped it off the wall? Yeah. Good job. I won the bet. I didn't think it'd last 3 weeks. Who are you looking for attention from? No one. Oh, well, somebody, because you wouldn't do it. Oh, it's so sad. So you're mad because Baba asked you about your tablet, about your Chrome pad, your Chromebook? Yeah. Well, you've been stealing and lying and running away and calling yourself Richard. You're lucky you have anything. Give me a fucking break. You want to get serious with me? Stand up. Stand up. You want to get serious with me? Oh, you're so, mad because Baba thought you were looking. Give me a fucking break. What are you serious? Are you serious? I know it's a fucking lie. Because it's a joke. It's a laughable joke. Baba's mad at me because you're mad because Baba was looking for something. Do you forget what you've done a short time ago? Do you forget that? No, you don't forget it. You're lucky you have anything. Maybe a ground with no carpet. Maybe no bed would be ideal for you. But you've gotten a ton of stuff. Oh, so you broke everything, huh? Just throw it all away. Did you rip books up too? No. So, who does this hurt? Not me. You know the answer is you, but you don't care. You want to show out like, oh man, why didn't you break the bus and break all that garbage? I don't give a shit. I don't care. This stuff is for you. I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need this room. I don't need your shit every single day. You're going to come back and get mad, get happy. Okay, let's be good. Let's have fun. Let's have ice cream. Let's have a good couple days. And then let's get mad because you're on your device trying to look shit up that you shouldn't be looking up. But you can't quite get through there yet. You're trying to break it. So you get mad. Give me a break. Give me a break. Like you're going to finally learn. I'm trying to give you a safe environment to get through these lessons. But when you get into the real world, because you're not learning shit here, and I don't need to deal with the shit that you go through, so you're going to buy yourself more time in here. And guess what? If you're going to fuck off in school, you're going to be kicked out quick. What happens then? Do you remember? Yeah. What? Yes, in this room, every day by the book.
Damn, guys. They threatened him. He said, what's going to happen if you keep effing up in school? And Ronan said, I'm going to have to do homeschool. And he said, yes, in this room. Who else was being forced to homeschool?
What's the book mean? Paper book, right? With pencils. You're going to get your education by a paper book like the old red schoolhouse, Little House on the Prairie times, when there was one book for all the classes. So you won't expand your knowledge, and you won't talk to any kids. You'll have no social time to zero because you chose it. And
oh my God.
You're going down that pathway again. You got kicked out of basis. You're lucky we left because you weren't going to be let back. So are you going to do that here too? No. You're acting like an asshole here. This is asshole. This is jerk. But you're a big tough guy. You go by the police. You're going to lie to the police.
Do you hear this? This kid wasn't aggressive, y'all. Tracy Ferriter just sat there and said, you had no idea what we went through every day. At the hands of this monster.
Look out, you're Richard. So I'm going to talk real frank to you. This language is not used out there in front of the baby and the girls. But you're a tough guy, right? You're going to break shit. Let me break shit. Right? I don't give a shit. Let's break it.
Oh my
Let's
God.
break all this shit. I don't need it. Let's rip it off the wall. So let's talk tough guy, huh? Let's talk. Let's get real here. I don't need the shit, though. I got stuff that I got to do in my life to pay for your food and your housing and your clothes and your sisters and your brother, that I don't need your extra bullshit that you're just asking for attention for. When you got a lot of gifts that you...
There's the judge that just signed her plea agreement. He was breaking Ronan's shit in his room, whatever he had.
You have that other people don't have, and you piss on them. And you're mad because Baba thinks I'm doing something. Hell yes! Because you do this shit a bunch of times. That's why. And I don't have time to track it all because I expect you to get better. But you don't. You do the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. It's like a 2-year-old. That's why I say, for example, anger. Look at your little brother. He's a 2-year-old. And he got in trouble, he got angry, and he got over it. Nice lesson to learn. Your sisters have devices. Do you think we look at their devices? Yeah. You know, yeah, because Mama just told you that. To make sure they're safe and they're doing the right thing. So you're not fucking special. That we're only looking at your stuff. So get off of your own ego, thinking, oh, we're looking at your stuff. You've proved.
He thinks that Ronan has an ego. This guy is delusional. He's talking to a 14-year-old who will barely even speak loud enough for the damn camera to pick him up. And he's talking to him about ego. This guy is projecting himself onto this kid. This dude is fucked in the head.
Yourself to do bad, stupid shit. Really most stupid shit. Ridiculous. I'm Richard. I'm Richard. Is that what you say you were? Yeah. I'm Richard. I'm a tutor. All this stuff. It's this. What is that? Is that another personality, or are you just trying to lie all the time? Something not smart. What? Something not smart. Just say it's you're just lying. You're just trying to lie and get through. Like what's the point of all that stuff? What? I don't know. You don't know. Give me a break. I don't have time for this shit. Like I told you, I gotta try to go and feed the family. If you're gonna break your own shit, that's fine. You obviously don't care about it. So, I don't know why we even give it back to you, give you a chance. So who gives a shit? Why don't you write this down? Huh? Who gives a shit about this? I mean, it's only something I brought, probably back, right? You're up, but you can just throw it away because you tear everything else up, right? So there goes that, right? Who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit? I don't care. Pick up that. Why do you have that in your bed? What? Why is a pretzel in your bed? From where? Lunch. Why is it still in your bed? Because I had a few of them. Eat it. Where's the rest of them? I ate all of them. Eat that one too. Eat it. Right now. You want rats in here too? No. Then eat the fucking food. You're gonna kind of stake it in here, and you don't need dinner. You give mom an attitude. You might rattle her a little bit because she's cares and she tries to give you the love, but you don't fucking fool me.
Wow, you might rattle her a little bit.
You think you're a badass and you're smart? You've done this shit. I've done all the shit you're doing before you were born. You can't mess and fool me. All right? But I did learn. And I changed. If you don't learn and change, not so smart. You say you're smart, but you don't change. You just break your own shit. You rip your own stuff down. Who does it hurt? Not me. You know that. You know the answer to this.
Oh, that's what he did. Ronan ripped his posters off his walls. In that room.
Why would you?
Oh, this guy's a piece of shit.
That's just stupid. Why do you say you're so smart, but you do stupid shit? Why? And then you say, I don't know. Smart people don't say, I don't know. Let's go. Eat it. Give me that water. Let's go. Go to the bathroom.
They would make him eat his meals in his room in the garage. He couldn't even eat with the rest of the children in the family. And to see him watch this, he doesn't even give a shit. He sees nothing wrong with what he did.
To the next step. So if you don't give a shit and you want to run away, see how that takes you. I'm not chasing you this time. See how it goes. If you want, should I put this ankle thing back on you?
Oh my God. He said, I'm not chasing you this time. Should I put this ankle thing back on you?
I kind of need to know where you're at just so you don't hurt yourself. Because you have no fucking idea what's out there. You think you do. All 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, these kids you're around, you might think you know what's going on in the world, but you don't quite know. Give it a try. Go ahead. but I got to put the ankle bracelet on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm responsible. And when I say I'm not giving up, I'm not quitting, you got me forever. So deal with that. But if you want to go throw your shit away, if you want to ruin your life, if you want to destroy this shit, I'm not going through this again and again and again. I don't have time for this shit. I got to deal with Nola.
They cut out the other kids' names. True crime, that's funny. Tennessee distillery ad. I don't know if he's in General Pop. Probably. I don't know. I really don't know how that works. Psh, 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 psh. I mean, look at her. Look at her. Knowing she's next. There's more videos of it. I can't handle listening to it. But let me show you the video where this is where he's
watching
the
that
camera.
video. The jury is seeing video.
Hold on. There's a video where he's hanging it. Here it is.
Like for the defendant. Nay, the jury in Florida is viewing 4 hours of home surveillance videos in the boy in a box trial. The videos show what life was like for the defendant's adopted son. Now, remember, Court TV is not allowed to show the videos because the alleged juvenile is the victim in it is the alleged juvenile, but we can hear the audio. Defendant Tim Ferriter is charged with aggravated child abuse, false imprisonment, and child neglect for locking the child in a box-like structure in their garage, a structure that they had built. Julia, always great to be on with you. You're there live. Tell us what is happening in court right now.
That's right. 4 hours of video is what the state said that they were planning to.
I guess they didn't show it here. Hold on. See that, though? That's him hanging it. I don't know why they're not. Yeah, this judge, Florida judge, gives Timothy Ferriter light sentence. He didn't get, there's no justice for what they did. Let's take a look at this.
Okay, as we look at this, and there's a desk, there's a mattress on the floor, you see where the door is, and then at the foot of the bed is the bucket. And all of this is being recorded by the camera that is also in there. So as we look at this, what do you see, Dr. Robbie Ludwig? Do you see a place that, well, first of all, do you see a room or do you see a box? How would you define this?
I see a prison. That's what it looks like to me. That it is
That the state provided of the child lying. He faces up to 40 years.
I'm not sure they're going to be able to justify it. What's going on in this house?
The Boy in a Box trial. Live coverage weekday mornings at 8, 7 Central on Court TV.
Now responsible for RF's care. All 4 of the Ferriter children were removed from their parents' custody due to those charges against them. And this guardian, he appeared agitated, especially when we saw on that video overnight of RF having to use that orange bucket that's in the enclosure to urinate. And then was told by his father the next morning to go pour it out and do it where the neighbors wouldn't be able to see what was going on. That guardian ultimately left the courtroom when we could hear the Ferriters forbidding their son from using the air conditioning unit that was meant to cool that structure in the garage.
Don't touch the air conditioning, okay? So you have to say that again and again and again and again. Don't ever touch it.
The jurors on this case, they were paying attention, but they did seem to get restless after several hours of the surveillance video showing similar days for this child. In this panel of 6 plus 3 alternates, they weren't doing a lot of note-taking. But Timothy Ferriter was taking copious notes and even moved to a different place in the courtroom so that he could make sure to see all of the state's evidence in front of this jury. Vinny?
Julie Janae down in Palm Beach County covering all this for us. Now, I want you to take a listen. Again, this is going to be the audio. We can't show you the video. But here, Timothy and Tracy Ferriter both yelling at their adopted son, some allegations of stealing. Take a listen.
tell me something? What? Don't tell me what. This is your one chance. Don't look at me like you tell me something or not? I have a license. Yeah, from where? Blue van. Where? Green van. Excuse me? Green van. Stealing again? What's wrong with you? You're stealing? Disappointing. Chocolate? And everything. You got so much stuff in your.
This is where the wife, she's in there too. She's in there too. The one that just got no jail time.
You're just such a disappointment. You're going to lose. I'm going to take you out of that school. And you're going to be in this room. You're this close. Because I can't trust you. But put the ankle bracelet back on. And then you can try to run away if you want and do all the you do. But I'm going to lock your out. You guys are from my toy. Give me why are you little sick? I'm sick of the bull. You're a big boy, you're going to steal, you're going to talk to the police. I'm going to give you a deal, okay? You're going to steal from a house? You'll be done with school. You'll be in here homeschooling. And I told you that's a possibility. So go ahead and test me tomorrow by going to school and misbehaving.
He got chocolate out of the minivan. That's what this was all about. Chocolate.
We're doing it you shouldn't do. Test me.
Let's bring back in our experts, Dr. Janie Lacey, Dr. Robbie Ludwig, and Sharonda Brown.
Makes you wonder about Sebastian's life at home, doesn't it? Here's some more photos here.
Love, but I really want it. So if the child was given love consistently, it's very possible with that diagnosis that that child could have had a successful upbringing. But it sounds like they wanted to ostracize him even more and abuse him even more than what they were already doing. It definitely doesn't sound like parenting, as it sounds like more abuse.
Okay, now I've got one more to play for everyone. Here they are talking about this air conditioner, okay? Let's not forget where they are. Jupiter, Florida, okay? For those of you who don't know where it is, that's like South Florida, the part that
Yeah, it's hot as hell. And he could not turn on the air.
gets very warm. Let's listen.
Did you turn the air on in your room?
Yes.
Are you supposed to touch that? Did you hear Baba?
Yes.
This is them communicating with him through the Ring camera. He's locked in there. And they're communicating with him through the camera that was built into the wall.
Did you hear his question?
No.
Are you supposed to touch air conditioning?
No.
Why did you touch it?
It was getting hot.
I don't give a if it's getting hot. You're a tough guy. You don't touch the air conditioning. I'll deal with you tomorrow on that.
Looks like the air conditioner is the wire hanger of this trial, Dr. Janie Lacey. Don't touch the air conditioner.
Yeah. Why'd you turn it on? Because I was hot. Oh, you're a big boy. 5 years.
What are you hearing in the tone? And you know, there could be people at home right now saying, well, you know what, this kid's not following rules and, you know, voices.
Take care of
to be sadistic and cruel and separate this child and prove their rightness. They weren't interested in the child's mental health or well-being.
All right, everyone's staying with us. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other part of this case, which is the behavior.
There he is, installing the Ring doorbell camera. See, his room had posters and stuff. And when Ronan got upset, he ripped the posters down. And that's when Tim came in and started throwing all this shit. I know, me too, Cat's Head Thumbs. Me too. I don't think she should have gotten off at all. It's sick.
Of the adopted son. We'll hear some of it, and we'll hear a lot of it described. How
see that bastard?
Does that play into the equation here?
Look at this motherfucker.
Part of this case, which is the behavior of the adopted son. We'll hear some of it.
Mr. Cool Guy, right? That's how they communicated. They thought that they were doing the best thing for him. It's disgusting. Yeah, and how is stealing out of the family van? Stealing. Grabbing chocolate. Yep, she got 10 years probation. That's it. That's it. And here's the friend that testified for them. Listen to this. Look at this clan. This is the Ferriter clan. Look at this. That's his mama. That's his mama. She forgot to put her teeth in. That's his mama.
Who is a friend of the defendant who testified today, talking about things that were witnessed. Let's take a listen.
There was an incident in the pool where, would be overly aggressive, duck the children underwater and hold them down there for a little bit and so on and so forth. So, yeah, but I mean, I was there, so I was there to protect and look after them, but I wouldn't have left my children alone if...
Yeah, this is their buddy from Australia, a good Christian man as well, testifying that Ronan was aggressive.
It was just the kids.
So don't kids play like that, putting their heads underwater, that sort of thing?
Oh, I think when both of them choose to do it together and they play, this was more just one pushing the other down against their will.
Going back to Sedona for a moment, was there ever an incident there that happened with that caused you concern?
When we were leaving and we were packing up and I guess checking the house before we left, we noticed there were knives missing from the kitchen. So we started to look for those to make sure we put those back and find out where they were. We couldn't find them, and then Tracy went into bag to have a look and found the knives and brought them back, and we put those away. So there was probably a handful of knives that were missing and found in bag.
Would you have left your kids with unsupervised?
Objection, relevance.
Absolutely not.
Overruled. I'm sorry, sir?
Absolutely not.
And why not?
I would think it would be unsafe.
So one of the other issues here, you have this behavior, but you also have what's happening to him. And what is the relation between the two? Like, because of the bad behavior, are the parents putting him in this box? Or is putting him in the box, putting him in a position where he starts to act out and engage in this bad behavior? Dr. Robbie Ludwig, I'll give you the first crack at that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at sibling rivalry and the competition that could go on, this kid is being separated, scapegoated, and that would increase the aggressiveness.
Okay, so we know they're pieces of shit. And she got off scot-ass free, and I know that was heavy. That was heavy. So we're going to end the live stream that started this morning, and it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon, with a funny video to make you guys laugh, because I know I can't leave on that note either. Yes, Peta Pickle has that update. Her mom has the 3-year-old though. The 4-year-old now. Her mother has their biological. But here is your funny video, and then we're gonna dance it out. Thank you for joining today. Thank you for your support, your memberships, and everything. Crimes have consequences. Thank ya. Thank you for your super chat, Annie Jean. She should have gotten something. She was aiding and abetting a crime. Completely appalling. Right. When they wouldn't even let that kid get air. I mean, that's attempted murder, in my opinion. But let's laugh it out and then dance it out. Thank you. It was good to see you, Melissa, and everybody who's listening and is working. Have a great rest of your work day. Hopefully you guys, I'll see. Oh, wait, let me tell you, I've got some exciting stuff. So tomorrow's our call-in, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, we have Brian Koberger in court at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday, a one-on-one with me and author Howard Blum. I've always called it Blum. I'm going to have to get used to saying Bloom, but he is going to be live with me, and we're going to talk about the new book. We're going to talk about all of those read-alongs I did. The Howard Blum read-alongs. I got lots of questions for Mr. Howard. He's going to be ours on Friday Live this week. So it's going to be really, really exciting. I have so many questions. But if you want to listen to my read-alongs, you can catch up before then. You have a few days. While you're dancing it out, I'll put that link in the chat. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to laugh it out and then dance it out.
With their horses.
Those are the pictures, yeah. I don't remember if you have a copy of the text messages that were in that day.
I can show you them.
Can I make a request?
Yes.
Could you disassemble the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Oh, sure.
Honestly, it looked like it was...
Oh my God, the Leaning Tower of Pisa!
It just looked like it was gonna tip, and then you'd have to try to re-put it together, and that would take... I'm hoping you're going to be...
Shannon moments are always good.
This weekend instead of reassembling that file. So
5 bottles.
It looked like it was going to tip.
Okay. So. No, thank you.
All right.
With their horses.
With their horses.
Those are the pictures, yeah. I don't remember if you have a copy of the text messages that were in that day.
I can show you them.
Can I make a request?
Yes.
Could you disassemble the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Oh, sure.
Honestly, it looked like it was...
Oh my God, the Leaning Tower of Pisa!
It just looked like it was going to tip, and then you'd have to try to re-put it together, and that would take... I'm hoping you're going to be drinking a glass of wine in your sweatpants this weekend instead of reassembling that file. So
5 bottles.
It looked like it was going to tip.
Okay.
So.
No, thank you.
All right.
With their horses.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much, and now